Well. World-class veteran video game critic Michael Does Life. Oh, Michael.
Oh, it's a setup, it's a setup, it's a setup. There's an oh, it's a setup, it's a setup, it's a setup. There's an oh, it's a setup, it's a setup. No, don't be setup. There's an oh, it's a setup, it's a setup. No, don't be setup. There's an oh, it's a setup, it's a setup. No, don't be setup. There's an oh, it's a setup, it's a setup. No, don't be setup. There's an oh, it's a setup, it's a setup. No, don't be setup. There's a trailer, there's a mo, it's a beast. No, don't be boom boom boom. Bound to break and get your beat. No, don't be boom boom boom. We got to get on the ground. No, don't be boom boom boom. 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 It's a setup, it's a setup, it's a setup. There's an oh, it's a setup, it's a setup, it's a setup. There's an oh, it's a setup, it's a setup. No, don't be setup. Oh, it's a setup, it's a setup. No, don't be setup. Oh, it's a setup, it's a setup. No, don't be setup. Oh, it's a setup, it's a setup. No, don't be setup. Oh, it's a setup, it's a setup. No, don't be setup. Trailer, there's a mo, it's a beast. Don't be boom boom boom. Bound to break and get your beat. No, don't be boom boom boom. We got to get on the ground. No, don't be boom boom boom. Oh, it's a setup, it's a setup. No, don't be boom boom boom. Trailer, there's a mo, it's a beast. Don't be boom boom boom. Bound to break and get your beat. No, don't be boom boom boom. We got to get on the ground. No, don't be boom boom boom. Setup, setup.
Shut the fuck up! Fucker! Move!
has there been an opening like this in the entertainment industry. This week, Grand Theft Auto 5 pulled in $1 billion in sales in 3 days. No movie or music release has ever come close to that.
Yeah, it was hard to give up. Some things are hard to let go. Some things are never enough. I guess I only can go. Yeah, we were desperate then to have each other hold and give a one more chance to try to save us. There's a long, long road. There's a long, long road. Yeah, we were desperate. There's a long road to have each other.
Folks at home, it is time to lock in and lock in a way that makes sense. We have our first GTA 6 update here today from the horse's mouth at Take-Two, and we're going to be dissecting this brand new interview with the horse's mouth from Take-Two. Strauss Zelnick, I believe is his name. And we got some information on potentially what is going on with Grand Theft Auto 6 and more specifically Trailer 2 and how they're going to handle this release, as it is still slated for fall 2025. We have a lot to break down here today, and we're going to be dissecting it when you guys can figure out how to get up in here and get comfy before the projector begins. That I could tell you. We got 3 people coming through before the broadcast began here, and we're going to go ahead and dissect this in a way that makes sense. Actually, 4 folks coming through. The 4 horsemen have assembled. Dr. Blitz coming through with a lowball Lonnie to pop this one with a 99-cent super chat. The producer's coming through with the $2 super chat. Says, imagine not supporting the show. Could never be me. Couldn't never be him. IAD coming through with the $5 super chat. That's what we're talking about. IAD is in the building. And he says, like the damn stream. And we got Levi coming through, an absolute legend yesterday. If you were watching, which you probably weren't, but yesterday, last night, Levi came through. He came through for both streams, and he's still coming through. Levi saved the show last night. He came through with gargantuan support, colossal support with the $100 super chat. Levi coming through yet again with now the trilogy support here. Back to back to back support to the previous broadcasts. Levi is in the building. We got a big update here on GTA 6, and I don't know where you guys are at. But you need to be right up in here, homie.
Gerard by God has just tipped $10 through Super Chat. Imagine thinking Rockstar isn't cooking and they wouldn't release this year. Could never be me.
Oh, well, I don't know if we have that confirmation today, but we are going to be dissecting this interview. It's a 30-minute interview, and they actually do talk about GTA 6 as best as they can talk about GTA 6, but we still don't know if this game is really coming this year. I mean, there's still a big question mark surrounding this game, unfortunately, and I wish today we had answers. And I hope that by April 1st we have more answers. Probably not, but we shall see what's happening here. I mean, it's really insane to think about the situation and the timeline that we're in with Grand Theft Auto 6 and how it's essentially holding other publishers really in a pause position where they can't really move. And these games that are coming out later this year are going to be suffering because of this game. This game is going to be a tidal wave, and no one wants to be in the wave of the tidal wave, believe me. J-Rod is coming through. That's what we're talking about. Hard and strong with a $10 super chat. You'll love to see it. J-Rod is in the building, and he's coming through in a way that makes sense with a 10. As Levi just came through with a 5. Levi, a legend. Longest subscriber of the live viewing audience. And he's coming through yet again with the triple base play. J-Rod in the building coming through hard and strong with that $10 super chat. Current king of the jungle here today. And that's what we love to see coming through in a way that makes sense. And the support has just continued to climb here. We went from 99 cents to 1.99 to 5 and 5 and now 10. So J-Rod is leading the pack here. And in a way that makes sense. We told these fake gamers that this day was going to come. We told you guys that there's going to be information soon. There has to be a giving point for Grand Theft Auto 6. And hopefully that comes sooner rather than later. But today we have a brand new 30-minute interview with the head honcho over at Take-Two, rather. And they actually do talk about GTA 6. And we're certainly hoping that we can piece this puzzle together on when something is going to happen. Yeah, hopefully it happens sooner rather than later. Leslie Benzie's brand new game just got a release date and a brand new trailer, and you can actually pre-order that on the PlayStation Store. You can put your money down on that game, Mid's-Eye, which I believe launches June 10th. We will be checking that out. Lincoln Clay's in the game. The actor that plays Lincoln Clay is in the game, and we're going to be checking that out. Looks sci-fi, futuristic. Not necessarily keen on that genre, but it is Leslie Benzie's, and he obviously knows a thing or two on how these games are made and producing these games, and longtime veteran over at Rockstar North. So quite frankly, I think he's going to come through, and I think he's going to give a big F you to Rockstar Games and this woke garbage that could be GTA 6. I really do honestly believe that. And I'm not saying Mid's-Eye isn't woke, but I think it really is a big F you to GTA 6 and Rockstar Games, and we're going to have to see what that's all about. So you can actually pre-order the game right now. The game releases June 10th. There's no gameplay, really. There's just a couple of trailers, but it is from Leslie Benzie's, and we know Leslie Benzie's had a fallout with Rockstar Games after GTA 5, or at least in the middle of that, or whatever the case might have been. But Brick Boy is coming through. This is what we love to see, and in a way that makes sense.
The Brick Boy 103 super chatted $4.99. Everyone in this chat needs to start singing for world class.
I agree.
Like
we should have way more viewers. We
yesterday.
actually have news today, but these losers can't be bothered to tune in because, quite frankly, they've exposed themselves as fake gamers. They don't play video games. They don't have an interest in video games. They have an interest of pointing the finger and laughing at someone else because they're insecure. That's really what it boils down to. They have no interest in game talk. They have no interest in game discussion. And it's quite frankly very evident here today with only 216 viewers, when we literally have brand new information regarding what is going to be happening here with Trailer 2 and the release of this game going forward. We have a brand new interview from Strauss, the head honcho over at Take-Two, which is the parent company of Rockstar. The Brick Boy coming through with the 5. That's what we love to see, coming through in a way that makes sense. Well, Mid's-Eye could be mediocre, but at least it has a release date, and you can actually pre-order the game right now. So you know what? I think that's fascinating news, to say the least. That you can pre-order Leslie Benzie's brand new game. We're going to have to take a look at that, and we're certainly hoping that he can deliver the goods, because if Rockstar can't deliver the goods this year, then we have other games to play like Mid's-Eye and potentially Mafia: The Old Country, which, we're going to look at this interview, and there's some questions that I have, but maybe you guys can figure this out. We need a little bit more juice on this mic here. A little low today. We're gonna push it up to 7. So we have a brand new interview to dissect here today, and I need you guys to really lock in. It's a 30-minute interview. Now, they don't always talk about GTA 6, but when they do bring it up, and the guy asks about GTA 6, so it's not like they're really, hinting at it. The guy's straight up asking, but obviously he can only answer so much. And Rockstar seemingly still has the ball in their court, and I think that's what people need to understand most, is that I guess it is Rockstar's decision on when they want to kind of move forward. And I don't know if it's up to Take-Two in any sort of capacity, but we're going to have to take a look at this here and take a look at it in a way that makes sense. Rockstar, the release will be this year for GTA 6. Well, we're certainly hoping that it is, because if it isn't, why is this chat dead? We have brand new information on Grand Theft Auto 6 here today. An updated timeline on when to expect this game and when to expect potentially trailer 2, and you guys have nothing to say. How is that the case when there's a brand new update on this thing? This makes no sense. We should have 350 plus viewers in here. It's not clickbait today. But you guys just come in here with this idea that it's always clickbait, and it just really could never be me, but it certainly could be you. We need you guys to start locking in here. This is getting ridiculous. Jeez. I mean, there could be trailer 2 in just 48 hours. We don't know what Rockstar's plans are. The ball is in their court. When they want to put it in the hoop, they will get up off of the bench and put it in the hoop. It's as simple as that. So in 48 hours, April 1st was the rumored release for trailer 2, or at least something, based off the T-shirt on GTA Online. Is that theory going to come to fruition? Well, we're going to find out in 48 hours. I don't personally believe that it will, but if it does, we will be there live for that, and in a way that makes sense. It's a 30-minute video, but they only talk about 5 minutes about GTA 6. Well, that's okay, because we're going to sit here and watch the whole thing. If you don't care, then you can go watch the clips. We want to hear what he has to say. I've already watched it a little bit, but April 1st is in just 48 hours, I believe. We need you to lock in. Fable is coming through, and I know he's locked in. Fable is coming through, and I know he is locked in, homie.
Fable La Punisher super chatted $4.99. I spoke with Strauss Zelnick just now, and he told me to reassure you and all of Michael's fans that yes, GTA 6 is on track. You will be playing it soon.
Yeah, I believe that is what is said in the interview here, but I still have questions coming from this interview. The big question mark is surrounding Mafia: The Old Country. And I'll talk more about that as we kind of dissect this trailer here. When they talk about GTA 6, Fable is locked in, and he's coming through in a way that makes sense with a $5 super chat. And as we get closer to this game becoming a reality, and not a thing of your imagination, you're going to see the hype of this game, and you're going to see the aurora that GTA brings to the table. And this generation is not going to become. Well, they're not used to it. They haven't experienced it before. The last game came out in 2013. They have no idea what I'm talking about. You have to experience it. You have to be there. This is a once-in-a-lifetime video game. I mean, it really is. There's nothing bigger than this, and there probably won't be anything bigger than this, unless, of course, GTA 7 came out, but that's probably not going to happen in our lifetimes. And even if it does, I mean, are you still going to be playing video games? It's another 20-plus years before GTA 7, right? So, unless they change everything and really speed up the development process with these games, but probably another 20 years before GTA 7 at minimum. So, the big question is, are you going to still be playing video games? I don't know if the answer is going to be yes. So this is the biggest video game of our lifetime. I mean, I'm not even trolling. You don't have to like this game. You don't have to play it, but you can't deny its popularity and its presence within the entertainment business. I mean, this is the biggest video game of all time. I've already predicted these things. I said the consoles are going to be hard to find later this year. No one wants to talk about that, but they're going to talk about it when it becomes a reality. You know, they're going to have these clickbait titles, and Asmongold is going to say, oh, wow, you know, he's going to put on the shocked face and say, wow, I went to the store and I couldn't find a PlayStation 5 because of GTA 6. And it's like, well, we predicted that way back in March, you know. We predicted that way back in March, and I also predicted that PlayStation Store is going to have to revamp the way they do preloads. There's going to be a sign-up sheet, essentially, for folks that want to preload this game, and they're going to do waves for preloads. That way the servers can handle millions and millions and millions of people downloading this game. It's going to be a crazy situation. You're never going to see anything like this again. But you can't understand it right now because, you know, the game is still one of them games that is still well, it's not landed yet. You know, it's a UFO in the sky, and you're kind of believing it, but you're kind of not. But if the UFO were to land in front of you, you would see the reality of the situation. So that's really ultimately what's going on here, is that you guys can't figure it out. It's an internet darling game as of now. Yeah, but your grandma's going to know about it when the game releases. When the UFO comes down from the sky and it lands in front of your face, you become a believer. And that's the reality of the situation. So when GTA 6 releases and it smashes all records, and, you know, James Cameron looks at it and says even the Titanic 2 couldn't do better, you know, I mean, it's just going to be unbelievable. This is like the Beatles coming to America. You know, if you were at Shea Stadium when they came to America in the late 60s, I mean, you saw the revolution, but you had to be there to really experience it and get it. And this is what that is. I mean, this is really a big pop culture moment like that. I'm not even trolling. I mean, this is bigger than. I mean, this is. I don't think I can't think of anything bigger than this, and I'm not even trolling. FT is coming through right here. This is what we love to see. FT is coming through, and he's coming through straight from Canada.
FT super chatted $10 Canadian. GTA 6 is making sense with the date closer to fall and Zelnick saying the marketing close to the release date. Now we have to wait till summer for the marketing to start, or even April or May.
Well, I have a question, and I'll try and remember to ask it when we look at this interview here, because it kind of doesn't make sense. But and I'm not saying that the game is delayed, but to me it's still in the air, unfortunately. You know, I mean, I need a Rockstar to pull the curtain back, right? You know, the guy at Take-Two can say this, that, and the third, and I'm not saying he's lying. Obviously, he's not, but we need Rockstar to kind of like get up off of the bench and put the basketball in the hoop to show their greatness once again. And I need that sooner rather than later. This is getting utterly ridiculous, and I don't know why the strategy seemingly is to wait very close to release now. I'm not sure that makes any sense, especially in this day and age of AI. And I think that contradicts the fact that Trailer 1 came out so soon, right? 2 years since release, essentially, for GTA 6 Trailer 1. And their strategy is to not start the marketing until very close to the release of the game. So if that's the case, why did GTA 6 Trailer 1 come out so early? Make that make sense. FT coming through with the 10. Let's go ahead and read this. He says GTA 6 is making sense with the date closer to fall, and Zelnick saying the marketing close to the release date. Now we have to wait till the summer for the marketing to start, or even April or May. And this is what I said. This is the problem that I have with this GTA community, is that they love to push the goalposts back. And I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. We don't want to be a negative Nancy. We want the game this year. If they delay the game to 2026, we're going to stop caring about it, because we have to mentally. It's getting exhausting talking about this game daily, especially for a crowd that doesn't understand it or isn't really in tune with it, because they weren't there for GTA 5 or GTA 4 or San Andreas or whatever. But we need them to pull the curtain back sooner rather than later. And the problem right now that I'm seeing with the GTA community is that every single month that goes by and we get nothing, they continue to push it back further and further and further. First it was January. You know, something's going to happen in January, right? You know, that was the big one, right? December 27th, right? After that was over, they pushed it to January, and they said something, oh, there's got to be a trailer too in January. It's 2025. January came and went, nothing. February makes a lot of sense, right? February adds up so perfectly. You know, Jason and Lucia, it's a love story. Love is a long road. The theme of the game is that, you know, it's about trust. It's about the loyalty, the relationships. Okay, February is the perfect time for Rockstar to pull the curtain back. Valentine's Day. February of 2025 comes and goes. Nothing. March, right? They said March. They said March. March makes sense, right? We're getting close to fall, so March makes more sense. March comes and goes, and nothing in relation to GTA 6. And now we're approaching April, and hopefully this is the month that really turns the ship around. But I have a feeling that if April comes and goes and we have nothing, the GTA fans are going to continue to push the goalposts back and say, well, it's going to happen in May, it's going to happen in June, it's going to happen in July, it's going to happen in August. And it's like, at what point do you wake up and realize that maybe this game is just not happening this year? And I hate to say that, but it's just... It's utterly ridiculous where we're at right now with this game. Jack Bitten is coming through, and that's what we love to see. He's coming through, and we're coming through in a way that makes sense.
Jack Bitten super chatted £4.99. It's so exhausting praying for this game. I'll take a broken game at this point.
Yeah, they should just... Well, that's why I'm buying Leslie Benzie's game. Not because I think the sci-fi stuff looks great, but because he's putting a game out, and it's from a longtime veteran, former producer of all of the GTA games that you know and love. And I think Leslie Benzies has a chip on his shoulder, and I think he's giving a big FU to Rockstar Games, as there was a fallout there. And I'm going to be buying Midzai. So if Rockstar can't deliver, we're going to be buying other games. It's as simple as that. If they don't want our money because they want to wait for perfection, then, well, that's great. If they can deliver, that's fantastic. We'll eat our words. But in the meantime, if they still have nothing to show, we're going to be buying other games. It's as simple as that. I'm buying Midzai, Leslie Benzies. We want to support Leslie Benzies. It's as simple as that. FT's coming through yet again with a two-time Tony Hawk combo. You love to see it coming through in a way that makes sense.
FT super chatted $10. Watch Mr. Clickbait for the win saying nonsense about this, but yes, I agree, GTA 6 this year or it's all over. Too much broken promises. I'm surprised Leslie stepped up and said his date in June.
You can literally pre-order Midzai on the PlayStation Store right now. You can pre-order the game. It tells you exactly when it comes out. June 10th, I believe. So in about 2 months, Midzai is coming out. There's no gameplay for the game, but you can pre-order it. Leslie Benzie's brand new game. I don't know if it's actually open world. I think it might be open level. But, if you can get in a car and it has themes that are similar to GTA... Leslie Benzies obviously knows what he's doing. He's a longtime producer of those old school games that you all know and love and that shape the entire industry. So I'm not saying it's an automatic, it's automatically going to be a great game, but, they got Lincoln Clay in the game, the guy who plays Lincoln Clay. He's a pretty good actor. The sci-fi future setting, the cyberpunk fans will love that. I'm not too into that, but we'll see how ultimately it turns out. And it's a $60 game, not a $70 game, so you kind of got to go in with lower expectations since the price point's a little bit lower. FT coming through with a two-time Tony Hawk combo straight from Canada. That's what we love to see. Guys, when you can hit the like button and get to 100 likes, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this interview. I think it's a 30-minute interview, so there's a lot of non-GTA 6 talk, but I think it's I don't know where the GTA 6 talk is. So we're going to have to watch the whole thing and dissect it. Just joined. What is the update? Well, we're going to go through the update here today. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go through the update here today. There is an update from Take-Two. Not from Rockstar, but there is an update from Take-Two. So we're going to be going through this here shortly when you guys can get locked in here. And in a way that makes sense, what the hell is this? It's world-class veteran video. It's world-class veteran video game critic Michael Does Live talking about GTA 6. That's what this is. We should have 500+ viewers every stream, but the normies still can't handle it. Like, how do we only have 271 viewers? I mean, it's ridiculous. I was out here with Cyberpunk a week early. And you guys, I was holding the game, and you guys were saying, oh my gosh, that's a 3D printed copy. You need to download the day one update. Oh my gosh, you're such a clickbaiter. Oh my gosh. That's what they were saying. They put me on Reset Era, and they said, well, this guy's got the game early. And then someone replied, and they said, this guy's a clown. How am I a clown? The fuck? Like they just want to sit there and... It's ridiculous. If I had GTA 6 early, no one would believe it. And yet again, Fable is locked in, and he's coming through hard and strong with the 10, homie.
Fable La Punisher has just tipped $9.99 through Super Chat. I imagine Trailer 2 is a darker theme compared to the first trailer, and we see the grittier side of Leonida with Jason's point of view. The hype is so real, folks. We're very close to the bread and butter emoji.
Fable is coming through yet again. He's locked in. He's coming through with a 2-time Tony Hawk combo, and you love to see it. I just don't think people understand the colossal nature of this game, and it's hard to envision right now because right now we don't know really what's going on with this game, and there's just a lot of variables at play. But when this game does become a reality, it's going to be crazy. It really is. We're never going to see anything like this in our lifetime. I'm not even trolling. Like, I can't think of anything bigger. I really can't. Unless there's a thing in the future where they can bring people back from the dead and, they can bring Freddie Mercury back from the dead and reunite Queen. Honestly, there's just nothing, or reunite the Beatles or reunite whoever. There's nothing going to be bigger than this in terms of entertainment. There's nothing going to be bigger. It's going to be colossal, and I just wish you guys. Well, this is fantastic because you guys, everyone's here for this ride. Ray Chronic 420 is in the building, and he's coming through hard and strong with the 12.
Ray Chronic 420 has just tipped $12 through Super Chat. If GTA 6 competes with Mafia Old Country, vote with your wallet.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and spoil it because I've seen a little bit of this interview, but. Here's what I don't understand, and maybe you guys can figure this out, and some of you guys haven't seen the interview, but Ray Chronic 420 is coming through hard and strong with the 12. They say that their marketing has, they're saying that their marketing is here's what I don't understand. They say that their marketing is they want to push it closer to the actual release of the game, which is fine. But how does that make sense for Mafia of the Old Country? Because Mafia of the Old Country is slated to release this summer, and there's no trailer 2 for Mafia of the Old Country. There's no gameplay for Mafia of the Old Country. So, you got Strauss saying that they're waiting for the marketing. The marketing is going to be pushed closer to the release of the title. But that seemingly doesn't apply to Mafia of the Old Country because Mafia of the Old Country is coming out before fall. And I'm assuming the latest would be maybe August or September. When does fall start? September? So I'm going to assume the latest would be August. But here's the thing. Mafia of the Old Country, there's no trailer 2. There's no gameplay. What is going on?
5280 super chatted $4.99. I'm not playing GTA 6 on the
Well, you're going to be missing out, homie.
PS5. It'll just wait for PS6 or PC.
Well, you're going to be missing out, homie. You're going to be missing out. That I can tell you. 5280 is coming through. You're going to be missing out. I don't know what to tell you. If you're waiting for PC, it's going to be a long road for that. So good luck. They can barely get the game out on console, so PC is going to be a long, long road. And by the time this comes to PC, the NVIDIA 60,000 series will probably be ready in about 2 or 3 years from now. I'm assuming it would be so. If you're going to wait, then you're going to be missing out on GTA 6. You're not going to be able to wait. So if you want, you can say that right now. But when the game comes out and everyone's playing it, and it's the biggest video game in the world and it exceeds everyone's expectations, I just watched the leaked gameplay, and the small detail that I noticed, and this was crazy. Jason's crawling. He's prone in the game. And there's a box in the way, and he pushes it out of the way, and it's gameplay, obviously. It's not a cutscene. And it's like that's the shit I'm looking it just looks so smooth and realistic, and it's like the immersion level's already there. And that's early footage from, 2022 or 20 whatever. But, you can go prone in this game, and you can crawl as Jason. And he was automatically pushing stuff out of the way that was in front of him, and that's the stuff I like to see. That's crazy. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a look at this interview here. And we're going to go ahead and see what the head honcho at Take-Two said. So here we go. Strauss Zelnick, Grand Theft Auto 6 mobile gaming. This was just released yesterday. We got a 31-minute interview. This is brand new. This is brand new, folks. And we're going to be taking a look at it. Fable coming through yet again. And in a way that makes sense. 3-time Tony Hawk combo, homie.
Fable La Punisher Super Chatted $4.99. Mafia July, August, Borderlands September, GTA 6 October, November. Strauss is literally going to hit the cash cow this year. Unbelievable numbers.
Unbelievable numbers. I mean, you're gonna. He's gonna be on a lot of vacations. I'll tell you that. Unbelievable stuff. Fable coming through yet again with the 5. So you're saying for Mafia July, August, Borderlands September, and GTA 6 October, November. Strauss is literally going to hit the cash. Yeah, and the thing that I'm concerned about is that Borderlands 4 already has what, 2 trailers, and that game's coming out in September. Mafia has like a teaser and then 1 trailer, but there's no trailer 2 and there's no gameplay for Mafia. That's supposed to come out this summer, and there's still no trailer 2 for that. So really what's happening here is I guess they're all waiting on GTA 6. And again, the ball is ultimately in Rockstar's court, it seems like. I don't think Take-Two has any control, which I think they should have some control because, you know, the big question is this game going to ever see the light of day if Take-Two is not in charge? Someone has to step up to the plate and say, hey, look, this game has to ship at this date, and the game needs to be ready, and they need to start initiating crunch. I mean, it is getting ridiculous. And at this point, they have to be in the crunch mode, I mean, to get this game to the finish line later this year. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and take a listen, and hopefully the audio situation here is figured out in a way that makes sense. So here we go.
So Strauss, take us back. What first brought you to the world of video gaming?
Well, that goes back a long time. I was president of a movie studio, 20th Century Fox. I've been there for some time, and I spent 7 years.
Bro, this guy was the motherfucking president of 20th Century Fox? Dude, this guy was the president of a movie studio, and he knows that GTA 6 is going to be bigger than any movie ever could be. That's fucking crazy, homie.
Years in the movie business. I'd overseen 155 movies, and it became clear that this was a mature business. Fun, but mature. And I remember saying to myself, I really want as a business that is the movie business, but in 1927, the heyday of its business. And I sort of looked around and said, what would that be? And it occurred to me that was the video game business. And then coincidentally, I was recruited to join a startup in the video game space. So you're looking at the only person who's voluntarily left the job of president of 20th Century Fox to go to a raw startup in Silicon Valley, which I did in 1993.
So 1993 was a while ago.
It was.
How mature is the business now?
It's much more mature, and the hallmarks of a mature entertainment business are generally the same. You see consolidation, you see the big get bigger, you see capital go towards those big companies, and it becomes a top 10 or 20 business at any given time. Those hallmarks do exist already.
Holy shit!
Can you see a picture yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Growth case, though, is a reflection of the fact that our average player is still 37 or 38 years old.
Oh my god, they're incels in their parents' basement! The average player is 37 or 38 years old? Really? The average gamer is 37 or 30. Well, for I guess what their games. That's crazy. That's crazy, homie.
And you engage with the same entertainment that you fell in love with at the age of 17 for the rest of your life. You don't stop engaging with it. So as that average player turns 39, he or she doesn't stop playing. They keep playing, and more people enter the cohort, of course. So mathematically, we should expect growth in this business for some time to come.
How fast is the overall business growing?
It's dead.
It's growing more rapidly than any other part of the audio-visual entertainment business, but it's not a huge growth rate now. I would say if you combine console and mobile together, probably around 4 or 5% a year at this rate.
Holy shit. It is slowing down. Well, there's no software. I mean, Jesus. There's literally no reason to buy a PlayStation 5. There's no reason to buy an Xbox because there's nothing to play on those consoles. You know, they've been out for 5 years. There's not one massive game where it's like, well, you need this console, and that changes later this year. If it releases later this year with Grand Theft Auto 6, that is the game that gets the consoles to move. You won't be able to find those consoles for at least a few weeks, if not longer than that, unless Sony ramps up production to ensure that they have enough for that holiday season, for this holiday season.
So it was growing rapidly, obviously, through the pandemic. It pulled back in 22. Mobile actually had a down year. It's now returned to growth, but slower growth than pre-pandemic.
When you were first involved in 1993, how global was the business?
It was a global business, but a fraction of the size that it is today. Today, interactive entertainment's a $180 billion market, so it's bigger than music, motion pictures, and television put together.
And how much of that's outside the United States, how much inside?
It skews somewhat more heavily outside of the United States, but if you look at companies...
Okay, we got a problem in here. We got a corrupt mod. Thanks for coming through, bud, because you confirmed it right here.
$5. Long-time fan. What's your opinion?
We don't care. But thanks for coming through so that you can confirm to me that you're either a hacker or we have a corrupt mod. Okay? Because I know I banned you yesterday. I banned you yesterday, and now you're back up in here. And I'm going to go to your profile to see if that's the real one, unless you're making new ones. Oh, you just joined. I see. Oh, you're an incel. You're that much of an incel. Okay. Oh, you're making new profiles? Wow, you're a fucking incel. Never mind then. Get on the Prozac or something.
We still skew toward the U.S. and Western Europe. Asia's a massive business, sort of centered in China, and companies like Tencent are huge participants in that market. We participate there as well, but we're quite small.
You mentioned mobile. Break down the segments in the business overall.
Well, really, the big rubric is
let's get you banned too. Quit disrupting the
mobile
show.
Versus console and PC. So think of console and PC as a big cinematic experience that you engage in for many hours. Think of mobile as a small, sort of bite-sized experience, and a mobile player will engage with a game they love 7, 10, 15 times a day for 5 to 10 minutes each time.
So talk to us about Take-Two and its place within this video game world. You have both mobile and console. How big are those relative to each other for Take-Two?
About 50-50. And our goal on the mobile side is to have the #1 market share in mobile. We're not there yet. We're heading in that direction. On the console and PC side, we're one of the leading players. And taken as a whole, depending on the day, by market cap, we're somewhere between #2 and #3 in terms of pure play interactive entertainment companies worldwide.
So as you suggested, mobile versus console goes up and down. It fluctuates. Is there a long-term trend toward one and away from the other?
Mobile's growing a bit more rapidly than console, and that's, I think, because it speaks to a broader demographic. So mobile tends to skew a bit older, tends to skew more female. Console tends to skew a bit younger, not very young, but sort of 18 to 34, whereas mobile can be 34 plus. And console does skew a bit more male.
What about geographically? Is there a skew of mobile versus console geographically around the world?
No, not really. It's a broad-based worldwide business. Now, of course, in developing economies, mobile's much more important as a device, and there wouldn't be, for example, there aren't that many consoles in Africa or India. Those are mobile markets. But there's also very, very small markets for us.
What's the revenue stream look like? How do you get your money?
So my co-CEO calls me up at 2 a.m. in the morning and says, Alex, the drug is effective in patients.
Well, in the mobile business, essentially mobile's free to play, and we monetize through advertising and in-app purchases, and somewhere between
microtransactions.
3 and 20% of the users will pay for in-app purchases, so the rest do not. And advertising is obviously broadly distributed, but on a targeted basis. In the case of console and PC, there's a free-to-play business, but that is largely a business where you purchase a unit, and then you often have the opportunity to engage in an ongoing basis after the original purchase through a multiplayer, for example, experience, and that would be also monetized in-game.
So on the console side, you can continue to pay various enhancements over time.
Yeah, but let's focus on what really matters, which is you can continue to enjoy the experience, you can continue to engage. And what we find so exciting about that ongoing engagement today is that once upon a time, the interactive entertainment business looked like the movie business, one and done. You go out to the market after an enormous creative effort and hope for the best. Today, hit experiences, obviously hit experiences, no one wants more of something if it's not a hit, but hit experiences can become what we call live services. They really are alive. So Grand Theft Auto Online has been around for 12 years, and it continues to engage and captivate audiences, and it's bigger than ever, depending on the day. GTA Plus is up 10% year over year. So on the one hand, Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold in on 210 million units, which is extraordinary. On the other hand, the online experience is a living, breathing, daily experience for millions of people.
So the online experience extended the life, essentially, of these games, because you can play a new game with people around the world.
Greatly, yes, and it's highly social, it's highly engaging, and Rockstar Games, in the case of Grand Theft Auto Online, continues to deliver new content regularly, which keeps audiences excited and engaged.
So you mentioned Grand Theft Auto. We have to talk about that when you talk about the large cinematic experience on a console. Give us a sense of Grand Theft Auto 5 versus 6. It's been 12 years now. Seems like a long time. Why does it take that long to come up with 6?
Here we go. We got the first big question. Why does it take that long to come up with Grand Theft Auto 6? We got the first big question. I need you guys to lock in here. We got the first big question. Why does it take that long to come up with Grand Theft Auto 6? That's actually a great question. First big question here. Let's go ahead and see the answer.
Well, there are really two reasons. The first is we set an intention actually to rest our intellectual properties. So some of our competitors come to market very regularly, maybe even annually, with their titles. We only annualize our sports entertainment titles. For our non-sports titles, we think you need to create enormous anticipation on the one hand. And of course, on the other hand, it takes a long time to develop these big, robust experiences. Rockstar Games seeks perfection in what they do. And the perfection's a pretty high bar. It takes a long time. And the reflection of that approach is in the success of Grand Theft Auto 5, which has actually excelled in 3 console generations, which is extraordinary. And today, it's still the standard bearer for the industry, even though it was launched so many years ago. And that's kind of astonishing in a business where the technology is continuing to change at a pretty steep rate. So think of the high bar that creates, for us, of course, but much more so for the consumer.
Take us into the development process. What goes into that process? Who's doing the developing? Where are they? What actually goes into it?
Well, it depends on the team. We have team sizes that are as small as 20 people in the mobile space and as large as thousands of people in the console space. And our studios are all over the world. They're greatly distributed. We have a big presence in the state of California. We have presence in Toronto. We're all over Europe. We have a massive presence in Edinburgh, where a lot of people in Turkey, of all places, and in China, India, so we're all over the world. You need to be where the talent is. And you can't just centralize because you'll run out of talent in that location.
How do you find talent in Turkey or in China, or for that matter, in the United States?
Well, we have HR teams that are in the business of recruiting the most talented people. We do generally like to be around universities because the people who can work in the interactive entertainment business are typically highly educated. I mean, they need to know how to program, they need to know how to create art inside a computer environment. That does require an educational background.
When you talk about thousands of people, are those employees? Do you have any independent contractors or freelancers?
They're largely on our payroll. They're largely our colleagues. We do have some outside contractors. The bulk of the work is done by people who actually work inside the enterprise. And that's a reflection of what, was the studio system. It's one of the reasons that the economics of this business continue to make sense. One of the dividing lines for a good entertainment business versus a not so good entertainment business is whether the studio system still exists.
So what happened in the United States? Go back to the 1920s. You want to replicate
1927.
1927. So what happened to the film business? What happened?
Get a little more runway before 1929.
But what happened in the film business that's different from the video game business?
Well, the studio system went away, and there are a couple reasons for that.
Guys, I need you to lock in here. We need you to lock in here.
Materially changed in the mid-50s, so before we were born, long ago, and that was when there was a consent decree in 1955 that disaggregated cinema distribution from production on the one hand, and the advent and growth of network television on the other hand. And finally, the desire of certain creators to become independent of the major studios and the studios' willingness to work with those independent creators. And the biggest, most important and threshold example of that was Desilu. Lucille Ball and Des Arnaz's studio, which created not just I Love Lucy, but other hits as well.
Okay, let's
and really
go a little bit forward here.
Good enough and powerful enough in a system you can ultimately own your own intellectual property. That broke apart the studio system, and suddenly now you're working with independent contractors who are creative, who basically can be made available to anyone who has the financial resources and the marketing and distribution resources to support their activities. That doesn't exist in the interactive entertainment business. We own our intellectual property, and our teams are gainfully employed, happily employed, and kept busy inside the four walls of our enterprise.
So that means that you participate in the upside with a hit, which is good, which is much more difficult in film and TV these days.
Well, film and TV, it's got an element of sort of, heads I win, tails you lose as a big company, which is to say, in success, the creative teams quite properly are able to extract a lot of the economic rents. So we're having that kind of conversation. But in failure, the financing entity bears the entire cost. We share with our colleagues, and we incentivize them highly, and we're very proud of the way that we work together. But we are aligned, which is to say, in success we all do well, in failure we don't do very well.
At the same time, it does increase the expense for you. I mean,
the fixed expense.
The fixed expense, exactly right. I mean, when you're spending 12 years developing something, that's a lot of investment, presumably.
It is, and luckily we have the balance sheet for it. It's one of the benefits of getting big. It's one of the pressures of the business. It's one of the reasons that standing up a company in a garage today will be awfully difficult. So in a way, the incremental costs have enhanced the barriers to entry to benefit companies like ours.
Are there things that you can do to get an indication of whether it's a hit in advance? I mean, in the film business, as I understand it, for example, you'll have focus groups. So before the studio actually launches the film, they have some sense of where it's going. Do you have that for Grand Theft Auto 6, for example?
Yes, very much so. And now this wouldn't necessarily be true for a big console release, but for many releases, we can actually go out into the market and test actively. We do so in the mobile space, where you'll go to 6 or 7 different countries, not your biggest markets, not the US, and you will test the products well before you launch them. And on the console side, we can do a lot of testing as well, and we do. We have consumers come in and play the games along the way and give us feedback. You're right, in the movie business, there is testing, but what do you test? You can't really test before you have a rough cut. To have a rough cut, you've shot the entire thing. And that's why there are more reshoots today than ever before, but reshoots are really expensive. And also, if you're in reshoot land, often, my experience has been, having overseen a lot of movies, you're already in trouble if you're in reshoot land.
When you think about launching a console, there are trailers that are released. For example, there are, as I understand, for Grand Theft Auto 6.
Oh my God!
Does the popularity?
There's been one trailer. so far. Yeah.
But
One
does
trailer.
the popularity of the trailer indicate how the game's going to do?
Well, sorta. Which is to say, if no one paid any attention to the trailer, that'd be a bad sign. But there's no guarantee that you could put out a great trailer and still not have a successful release. In the same way you would have that with, marketing any property.
Whether it's in cinema or whether it's in video games, it's ultimately the creative talent that drives the business. How do you lock up the creative talent? Is there a lot of competition for that creative talent? Are you at risk of losing some of it?
Look, probably the thing that I think our teams do best would be attracting, retaining, and motivating our creative teams. And one of the things I'm probably most proud of in my career, given that I don't really have any creative talent at all myself, is that I seem to have some ability to figure out who's really talented and somehow convince them to work within our system, and then most importantly, then to pursue their passions, or their genuine creative passions. And that's how hits are created. So we create a culture where talent is enormously valued. And then we have a rational system, so we're not bugging them any more than necessary, and we encourage them to do their work. And then we provide essentially unlimited financial resources to create perfection. And everyone's, going in that direction. And then we compensate people appropriately. We share. So in success, we share. But the goal is to align all incentives. The incentives of our shareholders should be aligned with the incentives of our colleagues. We all should be pulling in the same direction.
As in cinema, it's a hit-driven business. What is a hit? I mean, what numbers do you look at? What metrics do you look at? As you're looking, for example, toward GTA 6, I mean, what kind of range sort of makes it a hit for you?
Well, you would look at unit sales for something like GTA 6 or NBA 2K or Borderlands or Civilization, and you would look at the sales of the last iteration, or in the case of new intellectual property, you'd sort of get a sense of what you think that thing looks like and compare it to other similar releases. And on the mobile side, you would be looking at ultimately you'd be looking at your revenue and your profitability to get a sense of what a hit is.
When I listen to you, you have something of a portfolio with the mobile and the annual sports franchises that get renewed every year, and then the big console releases. Is that the way you view it? Are you sort of hedging? You can sort of hedge by not having all.
Fable La Punisher has just.
That's what we're talking about. Fable is coming through.
Through Super Chat. This is high tier 5D chess play going on from Strauss, Take-Two and Rockstar. If you think about it, this is their way of breaking the ice and throwing GTA 6 in the convo again. Marketing starts with this.
Yeah, you could be right on that. Fable is coming through yet again with, I believe, the 3 or 4 time Tony Hawk combo. And, it certainly gets the conversation afloat again, which is desperately needed at this point, as we are in approaching April of 2025. And, yeah, the guy's asking a lot about GTA 6, but it is interesting. This just dropped last night. And I think there's 2 more big questions coming up about GTA 6. Fable is in the building here today, and he's coming through. This is the second trailer, by the way. Dude, this is the second trailer. Fable is coming through. Yeah, let's continue the interview here. Decided 666 is in the building, member for 37 months. You'll love to see that loyalty badge coming through hard and strong for 37 months. No bullshitting, coming through hard and strong and in a way that makes sense. Decided 666 is in the motherfucking building here today. And he's coming through with a 37-month loyalty badge as we continue this brand new interview. See if we can get to the bottom of what's going on with GTA 6.
Your eggs in one of those baskets?
Absolutely. You know, when we took over Take-Two in 2007, the company had one huge hit in the Grand Theft Auto series, one tiny hit in the NBA 2K series, and that was about it. And so in addition to fixing the problems that we inherited, including meaningful compliance problems, our job was to diversify the product line and actually create more hits on the one hand, and on the other hand, to create a catalog that would generate income on an ongoing basis. And I said, in the very beginning, I said, look, our goal is to be in a position where when we open up the doors on January 1st, we're a profitable business, and then the hits, you know, are on top of that. And that's basically what we've been able to do. So today, you know, we're actually much more diverse than I originally had anticipated and hoped, in that we have a mobile business, which is a live services business. We have these forever franchises. Many of them continually create revenue and profits. We have our frontline console and PC releases that hopefully are profitable and big. They aren't always, of course. We have our catalog, which is the stuff we released in the past. And then we have the live services on the console side, which essentially is catalog as well, but I'm dividing between, say, Grand Theft Auto Online and ongoing sales of Grand Theft Auto 5, one being live services, the other being catalog. Well, you add that all together, and the business becomes much more reliable.
From starting out, whatever you...
We need you to lock in here, folks.
Imagine Alex has just tipped 10 euros
Imagine
through
Complex
Super
is
Chat.
coming
I too
through.
would like to work at Rockstar. You be a Californian releasing 2 GTAs in your whole career. At the moment your second game is close to being finished, you can go into retirement. Dream career there.
Exactly. That's all. You know what I mean? Holy shit. That's what we're talking about. Imagine Complex is coming through, and in a way that makes sense. And the $10 hype train is assembled here. And he says he would like to work at Rockstar. You'd be a California releasing 2 GTAs in your whole career, and at the moment the second game is close to being finished, you can go into retirement. Exactly, because these games, and that's what I said. I said GTA 7, if that even is actually a game, you're literally talking about 20-plus years in the making. I'm not even trolling. I mean, it's been, what, 12 or 13 years since the last GTA game. Yeah, this one's going to be way more successful than GTA 5, so they might not need to make GTA 7. Imagine Complex coming through hard and strong, and in a way that makes sense as we continue this interview.
It is not as much a hit-driven business, although, of course, in the fullness of time, we rely upon hits, new intellectual properties.
How sensitive is your business to consumer sentiment? If consumers start spending less, does it affect your business overall, or some parts of your business more than others?
I wish I could say that we were counter-cyclical. There are people who believe the entertainment business is, that old chestnut of, times are tough, so entertainment's not expensive, and I'll soothe myself when I'm unhappy with the economy by consuming more entertainment. It's not really the case. We are pretty well correlated with the economy, so in tough economic times, we will also be hurt. It is not true, for example, that in the Great Depression, the movie studios did fine. In fact, nearly all of them went bankrupt. We're subject to the economy for all the reasons you'd expect. If consumers have less money to spend, they'll spend less on entertainment too. And arguably, we could be disproportionately hurt, although we do not seem to be. And sometimes we can be we wouldn't be counter-cyclical, but sometimes we don't track the economy so closely because, for example, to consume a mobile experience, it's free. You can enjoy the experience without paying anything. And if you do pay, these can be quite small numbers. These are not big expenditures.
Is it a good business? And if so, how good a business is it? I mean, there was a time that I knew television some. And
I think you still do.
An owned station in a major market was a great business. I mean, there were margins of 50% or even more in the really big. On the other hand, the network business was a terrible business. It was a lot of money, but you were talking 4 or 5% margins. How good a business is video game?
It's a good business. A well-run interactive entertainment company would have an operating margin in sort of the 20 to 30% range. And one of the things that makes it good is that a well-run interactive entertainment company can have very high hit ratios in console and PC, sort of hit ratios in the sort of 70 to 80% range, if not more, versus, say, a well-run motion picture company where your frontline hit ratio on a good day is 30, 35%, which is to say more than half of what you do flops. So it is a very good business as entertainment businesses go, and certainly the return on equities, at the risk of selling our own book here, has been excellent at this company, really excellent.
You're a consumer business. You're selling to consumers. How do you get a sense of what the consumer wants? I mean, take Grand Theft Auto 6, for example, very big launch. How do you get a sense of what the consumer's after?
It's such a great question, and it's a complicated question because, of course, the development starts so far in advance of when the launch is going to occur. And I think it's one of the things that our creative teams do so well, which is they have a sense of where this property needs to be at a point in the future. They have a vision for that. And with regard to a new intellectual property, it's maybe even more complicated. But of course, done the right way, what drives our business is the creative passion of extraordinary people with amazing talent. It isn't a sort of, let's do market research on where the consumer is going to be in X amount of time. This is as much art as anything else. It's one of the things that makes it so exciting. It's challenging too, but it makes it really exciting. And if we get that right, if our creators get that right, we serve our audiences, and it is our primary focus. I mean, our focus around here is to be of service to our consumers, to engage them and captivate them and delight them. If we get that right, then the numbers will take care of themselves.
Since you got involved in 1993, technology has evolved a long way.
Oh, sure.
And if anything, it seems to be evolving even faster today. We don't know where. How has it changed your business, and how do you anticipate where it's going?
Well, what's changed is our ability to create something spectacular. And I think that's what will continue to change. We have not reached the technological asymptote that was reached, frankly, long ago in motion pictures and television. And the effect of generative AI on motion pictures and television, in my opinion, is you may end up reducing the cost profile, but we already have visual effects. I'm not sure that the visual effects will be better because of generative AI, but they may be quicker and cheaper. With regard to our business, there's still a lot to be done visually, graphically in our games. So, our game NBA 2K, if you squint, it looks like real basketball, but you still have to squint a little bit. It's still animation. It's terrific animation, but we don't really have in interactive entertainment something yet that really looks like live action. But technology will get us there, probably in a shorter period of time than maybe even I expect. That doesn't mean that every game is going to look like live action. That wouldn't make any sense, creatively. But that will be another tool in our toolkit. That's generated by technology. One of the questions I'm often asked is, does generative AI mean that someone sitting at home can ask ChatGPT 14 to make a GTA competitor, code it, give me the marketing materials, and we're off to the races? I don't believe for a minute that that's going to happen. There's no evidence that tool sets allow people to win creatively.
Do you know what's really fun? Making a website.
So I don't think that we're in a situation where generative AI is going to change the underlying business dynamics. To the contrary, I think these are phenomenal digital tools, and the more mundane tasks will be done more automatically, and that's the history of our business. And the creative tasks will still be done by amazing human beings. And it'll be the intersection of the technology and human genius that will create hits on an ongoing basis. I'll give you an example. When I started in 1993, if we wanted to create a lawn in a video game, we had artists who had to create an individual blade of grass, or it would just look like paint. Well, today, if one of our artists wants to create a lawn, they press a button, lawn. Again, that's before generative AI. So I think you're going to see much more of that, but that's not really going to change the character of the business. And I wish I could say it would reduce our cost For some of our lighter offerings, it may. For example, level creation in the mobile business is probably going to become more efficient. For our big, robust releases, I think the cost reduction that we may find with technology will be swamped by the ability to do more, and we're going to want to do more, and our consumers will demand more. One of I think the mistakes that people make is to believe somehow that generative AI is going to reduce employment. You know, the history of technology is it increases employment, always increases employment. And, you know, even the paperless office, turns out offices use more paper than they ever had before. So I think that technology will allow us to do more for our consumers. That'll build the market. That will increase employment. But the exciting thing is, you know, the ability to make something that's even more beautiful, even more compelling, even more interesting.
You mentioned marketing. How do you market a big console game like Grand Theft Auto 6?
So
Here we go.
It probably doesn't look much
Here we go. I need you guys to lock in.
different than motion picture marketing. So we'll do a lot of brand marketing for a big release. We'll use outdoor, you know, we'll still be on television. The bulk of our spend, though, will be more directed to a consumer. It's more performance marketing. So we will use social media, and the audio-visual material against which we advertise will typically be delivered by Hulu, for example, as opposed to network television. You know, and we don't spend money on Super Bowl ads typically. But you will see us in outdoor for our big releases. I believe in outdoor. So there's the combination of brand marketing and performance marketing. We also have a company-wide consumer database of hundreds of millions of active records. We can market directly to those consumers legally because we have a relationship with them. We've been in touch with them. So while observing privacy regulations worldwide strictly, we can reach out in many instances to consumers within our database and say, hey, this is available. We think you're going to like this.
You made a big acquisition in Zynga. How's it gone?
Well, we closed that deal in mid-22. And, you know, as the ink was drying on the contract, the mobile business actually declined for the first time in its history. So one could argue that the timing wasn't great. The truth is, though, we weren't playing for 2022. Around here, we think about the future of this company in 5, 10, 20, 30-year increments. We're trying to build a long-term, durable enterprise, an enterprise that will, of course, outlive me, but also my colleagues. And we looked at the business and we were like, we're a leader in console and PC, and we're pretty much nowhere in mobile. And there was an opportunity to bring Zynga into the fold. And it was an expensive deal at the time. It was the most expensive acquisition that had been done in the interactive entertainment businesses, eclipsed quickly by the Microsoft Activision deal. But at the time, it was a big deal, and certainly a big deal for us. At this point, as I mentioned, mobile represents 50% of our net bookings. It's a very successful business, and we have new hits. And the thing that Frank Gibeau has done in leading the team so successfully is the hardest thing to do in mobile, where hit ratios are quite low, way lower than console. And that is generate new hits. Most recently, Match Factory and Color Block Jam, which are terrific, both brought to us by our studios in Turkey, Rollick and Peak, respectively. And you know, we're really excited about the ability to bring new hits to market and still to bring our legacy titles, Words with Friends, Empires and Puzzles, Zynga Poker, a very long list of legacy titles that we call forever franchises. And we bring those to consumers around the world. So it's been great, and I think it's going to be better in the future as well.
Is the development path for mobile substantially shorter than for console? And as a result, can you take more shots?
Yes and yes. Although we have found that, as in any entertainment business, you know, throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks never works. You still have to be really selective. But if we release 1 or 2 new intellectual properties here in console and PC at most, we can launch 3 to 10 in mobile. And the timelines are quicker, the dev costs are lower. The marketing costs, however, are quite substantial, because even with regard to a very successful mobile title, we need to acquire users, and that's an expensive proposition with a payback period that is not current. So you'll have a spend, you know, in this quarter, and your payback will occur over, for example, 2 years before you're in profitability for that cohort. So you have to have a balance sheet to support that, which we do.
One of the biggest questions right now in all gaming, in entertainment generally, is when does Grand Theft Auto 6 come out? Which seems to be a very carefully held secret. Why is it so carefully held as a secret?
The anticipation for that title may be the greatest anticipation I've ever seen for an entertainment property. And I've been around the block a few times, and I've been in every entertainment business there is. And we want to maintain the anticipation and the excitement. And we do have competitors who will describe their release schedule for years in advance. And we found that the better thing to do is to provide marketing materials relatively close to the release window in order to create that excitement on the one hand and balance the excitement with unmet anticipation. And we don't always get it exactly right, but that's what we're trying to do.
Now, from a tariff war, as we discussed earlier.
Fucking shit. There you go. They said they're waiting until closer to release to market GTA 6. Now, with that said, my question is, where's the Mafia Old Country Trailer 2? Mafia the Old Country Trailer 2 comes out in summer. Are they going to really wait until the very last month to market that game? I mean, what is this strategy? I don't understand this strategy. I think the strategy is just kind of crazy, to be honest. I mean, it really... It's interesting to say the least. So it seems like it's still on track for fall 2025, and it seems like we're just going to have to wait longer, and April might not be that time and place where they pull the curtain back. If they're going to wait, let's presume that the game comes out in October. You know, if they're going to wait, they might not have to market this game until, you know, the end of summer or something. I mean, I don't understand it, but the waiting might not be over. The waiting might not be over here for GTA 6, because if they're going to wait and wait until it gets closer to the launch to market this game, we're going to be still left in the dark here, just like we were for the entirety. We're nearly approaching 500 days, and well, that's ridiculous. I mean, it really is. They will shadow drop. We must be on track for fall 2025. Well, I certainly hope that we are, but I mean, why isn't Rockstar showing anything? Rockstar, you know, he can say that, but it's ultimately Rockstar's decision, right? You know, the ball is in Rockstar's court, and, you know, is anyone going to step in and say, hey, no, look, let's take this ball and let's put it in the hoop now? You know, that's ultimately Rockstar's decision, and they can act on that when they want. So if there's no pressure on Rockstar Games to say, look, this is when this needs to really happen, well, then we could be in this waiting period for even longer. This might not end as soon as some of you guys want it to. And with Mafia the Old Country, it's like, well, that game, what is going on with that game? I mean, obviously that's not as big as GTA, no doubt about it, but, you know, Mafia is kind of big, right? Pretty big. Or at least it was in the with the previous title, Mafia the Definitive Edition, and then Mafia 3, Mafia 2. You know, those sold pretty well, right? Obviously, but you know, the newer one I think is going to be a little bit scaled back. But I mean, it's still odd how there's no marketing for Mafia the Old Country, and I'm wondering, you know, what are we doing with that? I mean, there's too much going on here. There's too much conflict here. You got Mafia, you got Borderlands, you got this, you got that. I mean, I don't understand what's going on here. We need Rockstar. We need Rockstar to come out of the woodwork. This is getting ridiculous. Market it in June for November release as possible. Oh my God. Well, let's presume that they go down that road. You're talking a few more months of just pure silence from Rockstar Games. Might as well stop talking about this game. And that's what I'm going to do on April 1st. If there's no information, if there's no, like, we're going to have to pause our coverage until concrete stuff comes out. Because I can't keep talking about this game for 2 more months when there's nothing to talk about. Like, I mean, we could, but it's just becoming ridiculous. I mean, it really is to come out here daily and do this when, you know, people in the audience don't want to participate in the conversation because they, you know, claim that there's nothing to talk about. And not only that, but Rockstar, you know, if they are waiting closer to release, and let's say this release is in late October, November, they don't have to come out of the woodwork. That's essentially what the guy's saying. Because they're gonna wait until it gets closer to the launch, relatively close. I think those were the words he chose, and if that's the case, then I feel like we didn't get anything answered here. I don't know. It's just the same thing over and over and over again, and then we have him on the line again in May for the Take-Two earnings call, and it's like, homie, where is Rockstar Games? What is going on with this game? And what the what the GTA fanboys do is they love to push the goalposts back and say, well, it's not coming it's not coming in March. It'll come in April. And then when it doesn't come in April, it'll come in May. Then when it doesn't come in May, it'll come in June. Then when it doesn't come in June, it'll come in July. Then when it doesn't come in July, it'll come in August. And when it doesn't come in August, it'll come in September. I mean, they just continue to push it back. And when are you going to realize, like, obviously there's a point of concern here with this record-breaking long silence treatment that Rockstar has been 3 to 4 more months of silence, then I'm done covering the game. I can't do it anymore. I can't do it anymore. We're not doing 3 to 4 more months of this. It's not happening. We'll have to start talking about more relevant releases that are closer to actually coming out. I'm not doing this for 3 to 4 more months with nothing. Like, it's utterly ridiculous. If Rockstar's not willing to pull the curtain back, then I still think there's a big chance this game is not. Well, I mean, I think at this point it's pretty obvious this game's not coming out this year. I'm not saying he's obviously he's not lying, but it's like, he's just going off of what was forecasted, I believe, and it's like, well, that doesn't factor in like the complications of development and things that just pop up out of nowhere. And Rockstar says, well, maybe we literally can't ship this game because there's something broke and we need more time to get it right. Who the fuck knows? They should at least release screenshots. Well, when they delay the game sometime this year, if that does happen, I'm assuming you're either going to get another trailer announcement or you're going to get some screenshots, something to hold the gamers over, because initially it's going to be a terrible announcement, but I just don't understand the marketing strategy here, because it doesn't make sense to me. It's like, why would you not want to market this game right now and wait until like seemingly the last minute to do it? Like, it's like, what? Like, this has the biggest marketing budget, I'm assuming, of any other game. And it's like, why aren't we utilizing that? And it's like, if they're doing outdoor marketing like he said, it's like, how long does that stuff have to be in preparation for? To put the billboards up and do all of that stuff, that has to take some time to actually get into, a point where it's like, okay, this is what we're looking for, and then it actually comes on the billboard. How long is that process? How long does that process take? So you get all the billboards up on the buses and the signs on the roadway and stuff like that. I mean, this stuff takes time. I don't know why they're waiting so long. Oh, Lord. Trailer 2 will be closer to release. It's essentially what he said. And that's not great news to me, because I guess it confirms that the game isn't delayed, at least as of this point. But we're going to be left in the dark. Nothing's going to change. So you're talking April will come and go. There probably won't be anything. May will come and go. There probably won't be anything. I mean, hell, they can wait until September to start marketing this game at that point. I mean, do you really need that much? This is ridiculous, man. Like, I don't, how many days has it been since December 5th, 2023, which was when the first trailer came out? Days since December 5th, 2023. 480 days of pure silence. Rockstar has never done this before, and yet you're telling me everything is just A-okay, and we're, we have all new marketing strategy, and it's wait until closer to release. Well, that's great. But what if that marketing strategy doesn't apply because Rockstar needs to delay the game, and maybe he's not aware of that, and maybe Rockstar hasn't made that public, but maybe they internally know. Obviously, the people that are working on this game in that office know where the game is at. I mean, they can't be clueless to that, right? So it's like, if there's no pressure to get the damn game done, who is setting deadlines? Think about this. If me and 5 people in this chat were making a game and we never had a deadline, the damn thing would never get finished. I'm sorry, it wouldn't. And you can argue, well, we're going to take our time and perfect this masterpiece. But it's like, at the end of the day, deadlines are actually pretty healthy. And it gets the team going, right? So, because you know you have to ship. And if Rockstar doesn't really have a deadline, and if they can set their own deadline, then it's like, well, then there's no rush, there's no crunch. They don't believe in crunch anymore. They don't believe in crunch anymore at the studio because the frat boy culture is gone. So if Rockstar is just kind of lollygagging, and I'm not saying they're not working, but I'm just saying if they're working, and they're working when they want to work, and they can take their own breaks or whatever the case may be, we don't know obviously, but if there's no crunch, if there's no pressure, if there's no really hard, obviously the fall 2025, that's probably what they're aiming for, but it's like, well, they still have plenty of time. So do they really need to crunch? I think that's the problem that we're having here. They need to get this game to the finish line, and they need to get this game to the finish line soon. This is getting ridiculous. If they push it off to 2026, oh my God. What a crazy position this is in. Rockstar won't let it go to 500 days. Well, that's what I'm saying. So you're saying within the next 80, 90, you're saying within the next 30 days there could potentially be? So you're saying within a month. That actually does make sense. Yeah, if Rockstar doesn't want it to hit 500 days, because that's going to look pretty embarrassing, not that anyone really cares, but 500 days of silence, like, come on, you can't, I'm sorry, but like, bro. So what was the, we'll have to go to the AI for this, but Spider-Man 2 came out. It's getting windy. There might be a storm coming. I have to wrap this up here soon, but Spider-Man 2, they launched a teaser trailer for Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5, and then Insomniac Games went silent, and then they dropped, I think, another trailer. I don't know what the gap was there, but I think it was pretty big too. But I don't know if it was 500 days big. I'd have to go to the AI to figure that out, but that's the only similar thing that I can think of. I'm going to go to the AI real quick to see if we can figure this out. If there's rain coming, I have to wrap this up immediately. We can't get the equipment wet. And there could be rain because the wind is picking up. I can hear it through this headset here. Okay, I'm going to ask it Spider-Man 2 PS5 trailer to trailer 2, how many days? And let's see if it can deliver this. Sometimes it doesn't know what you're talking about. Well, let's go ahead and see if it can figure this out. Okay, the first Spider-Man 2 PS5 trailer reveal trailer was released on September 9th, 2021, and the second major story trailer was released on July 20th, 2023. There's a difference of 679 days. Really? But my question is, well, let's see if we can, were there any screenshots released between waiting for... Let's see if Insomniac put out anything. Okay, it's spitting out literally paragraphs. We don't have time. The answer was no. So you're saying Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 5, the reveal trailer, more like a teaser, I guess, September 9th, 2021, and the second major trailer, the story trailer, was released on July 20th. 679 days. And apparently there was no screenshots released between that time frame. So I guess that's crazy to me. I don't remember that, but I didn't really care about Spider-Man 2, but because the first one was trash. Why would I care about the second one? But that is crazy. Well, if that's the case, there's definitely still hope here, because if Insomniac played their cards like that close to their chest, and there was a 679-day gap of silence, pure silence, well, then Rockstar Games, well, there's hope. If nothing has gone haywire at the studio in terms of development of this game. But I mean, there has to be a cutoff point. I don't think they want to market this game 2 months before it releases, but maybe that is the plan. I mean, we don't know, and this is where it gets really just annoying, where it's like, well, how much more waiting do we have to wait? Like, if the game is truly coming out, well, that's fantastic. If it's really hitting fall 2025, that's what we want to see. We don't want to delay. We don't want this game to get delayed. But at the same time, it's like this big era of silence, nearly 500 days of silence. Like, it's a long, long road. Let's just put it that way. It's a long, long road. So if fall 2025 is really that time and place where the game is actually going to drop, then the problem that I have with that interview is that he said they're kind of waiting relatively close to the launch to start kind of marketing, right? From what I gathered, that's what I understood. Okay, but what about Mafia of the Old Country? What is happening with that game, and why isn't there game? There's no gameplay of Mafia of the Old Country. Mafia of the Old Country is releasing before GTA 6, way before it, right? I'm assuming, at least a few months. It's slated for summer 2025, not fall, summer of 2025. Leslie Benzies has his game on fucking PlayStation Network right now. You can pre-order the game, comes out June 10th. Okay, they're not fucking around. The game actually exists. You can put money down on it right now, okay? Well, that's great. That's fantastic. That's what I want to see with all of these other games. I think the same holds true for Death Stranding 2, right? Can't you pre-order Death Stranding 2? I think that's already live. So what about Mafia of the Old Country? Mafia of the Old Country, is that going to come... where's trailer 2? Where's gameplay? Why are they being so quiet with that game? Are they waiting for this to kind of like see what's going on with this? I mean, it's crazy to me. If GTA 6 was releasing this year, Rockstar would have dropped the second trailer by now. Well, that's not their strategy, apparently, which it doesn't make sense, because why would they release trailer 1 in December of 2023, which is nearly 2 years from presumably when GTA 6 releases? So unless their marketing strategy has changed since 2023, late 2023, it doesn't make sense why trailer 1 came so soon, unless there's an answer that I'm not understanding. Why would you put the trailer out that early and then say 2025? You can go back and look at my reaction to GTA 6 trailer 1, and when it said 2025, I said, well, this is fucking stupid. Like, they show me a cool fucking thing that I wanted to play, and then you hit me with 2025. That's stupid. Like, all hype is deflated. So they pulled the curtain back way too soon on GTA 6 trailer 1, and now we're almost at the 500-day threshold of pure silence from Rockstar Games, which, by the way, Rockstar Games has never been this silent this long before for a brand new upcoming title. And I don't think anyone was expecting that we're still left in the dark here. And it's just this is a fascinating roller coaster that we're on. And I'm going to tell you that you're never going to be on a roller coaster like this again with this game. And that's why I think right now is the best time. It's the most fun time, I will say, before anything becomes official, whether the game comes out later this year or whether it's actually delayed. We're on this roller coaster, and it's up and down every other day with theories and people trying to guess and figure out what's going on with this game. Is it still coming? Is it delayed? What's ultimately happening? It's a big roller coaster, and you're not going to see anything like this ever again. I'm serious. You're not going to see anything like this ever again. 179 days until fall 25. Well, we're presuming a late October release, early November release. And I already said I think Call of Duty has to move forward because of this. Call of Duty is going to have to move forward. The new Call of Duty, the annual release of Call of Duty, that's going to have to move forward. Lazy Lombax is coming through. This is what we love to see. It smells like absolute ass out here. Lazy Lombax.
Lazy Lombax has just tipped $9.99 through Super Chat. Appreciate the early coverage to hold us over.
Well, I've been talking about this game for well over, since December of 2023. In fact, probably a little bit before that. I mean, we've been pretty heavy on it here and there. In 2024, we talked about it the whole year, and I thought, well, there was going to be something definitely happening on the one-year anniversary of GTA 6 Trailer 1, but obviously there wasn't. And that was crazy to say the least. But Lazy Lombax is coming through with a 10, and that's what we love to see. And he says, guys, if they are, he said, this is someone else here. Guys, if they are delaying it, they will have to announce the delay either through the trailer or a tweet. Okay, but the thing with that is that do they really have to, do they have to have the urgency to release a delay announcement? What's the urgency? They can wait all the way until fall 2025, which apparently begins in how many days? 179 days? So there could be 179 days of pure silence still. Can you guys hold out? And then they might hit you with the delay announcement. The thing is with Trailer 2 is they have to lock in when this game is coming out. It has to be at the end of the trailer. They have to lock in when GTA 6 is coming out. There's no ifs, ands, or buts anymore. There can't be a generic fall 2025 release window. It has to be a very specific date on Trailer 2 at the very end of Trailer 2. And it seems like they're just not confident in that right now. Because if they were, it's like, well, you could argue the marketing strategy has changed, but in my opinion, and I don't know anything, but it doesn't seem like that's really what's going on. I don't know. It seems like that's almost like a cop-out. We just changed up our marketing strategy to kind of, it's like the film business, by the way. And it's like, well, yeah, but this is the biggest entity in all of entertainment. Like, I don't understand why the game only needs like 3 months of marketing to, your grandma doesn't know about this game. The normies forgot about this game. They need to do a better job at informing people that this motherfucker actually exists. And if you're waiting all the way up until release, well, I don't know. I guess that'll be more impactful, but with the AI that you have to fight now, I mean, I don't even... Doesn't make sense to me. Dirt Shrimp is coming through!
Dirt Shrimp has just tipped $10 through Super Chat. The wait for this game is what's keeping me alive at this point. If the game gets delayed, I don't know if I'll be able to hold out.
Well, we certainly hope that we get something soon, and maybe in just 24 hours, 48 hours rather, they will have something maybe on April 1st. The GTA Online t-shirt says April 1st, 2025. Rockstar could play some games. They could update something on their profiles, and that would be fascinating. I don't even need a trailer 2. Just confirm that the game is still coming in some weird way, and that's fine with me. I literally don't need trailer 2. Like, as long as this game is releasing fall 2025 and they can kind of confirm that in somewhat other way, like, I don't need another trailer, like, dead ass. You can just ship the game, and I'll hit the pre-order button on PlayStation, and that's all I need. I don't need another trailer. Just confirm that this game is coming, Rockstar, in fall of 2025, and that there's no delays, and give me a release date, and we're good. I don't need another trailer. I don't need any screenshots. Literally, I don't. All I'm looking for right now at this point is this game truly coming? And I want to hear it from Rockstar, not Strauss. I want to hear it from Rockstar and not... because we need Rockstar to bark on this game, and it's like, well, I don't know why they're being so quiet. It's like, yeah, they're cooking probably, but we don't know. I mean, some communication would be fantastic. Dirt Shrimp is in the building. That's what we love to see, homie. April 1st fell off. Well, it didn't fall off because it's not here yet. How did April 1st fall off? We're still going to see if anything happens. And I already knew even if trailer 2 is coming, it's not happening on April 1st, but I think they could definitely start teasing something slowly to get the kind of the cogs moving in that machine. The reason Take-Two is not releasing trailer 2 is because they don't have a fixed release date. That's what we're talking about. Kevin is coming through with the 5.
Kevin looks super chatted $5. GTA 5 was never like this.
That's what the
quietness is making me nervous.
Yeah, it wasn't because, and we looked at the timelines for, GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 and the timelines, and, Red Dead Redemption 2 got delayed, 2 or 3 times? But they at least had something for us to chew on, a screenshot, or, GTA 5 had multiple previews while you were waiting for trailer 2 throughout the year. There was something, and it's like, dude, it's 480 days since GTA 6 trailer 1, and they still have nothing to show for. But this interview popped up, I believe it was uploaded yesterday or today, or very, very recent. And, it's kind of what we, you know, it's kind of what I thought it was going to be, that we're still on track and that, well, the marketing. But they did talk a little bit about GTA 6 in there, which was kind of surprising. But I think the next investor call on May, it's like if we hear the same thing and there's still nothing from Rockstar, it's just going to start. Well, it's not making sense already, but it's definitely going to not make sense in May. I mean, if you know, every time we do these streams, I say if we're having this same conversation in a month from now, which we always do, it's like I don't understand where this game is at. Rockstar Games is implementing AI for things like NPC behavior. Well, then the game will require an internet connection. And let me ask you this. Let's say they go down that road. Would you be willing to, would that be, I'm assuming that wouldn't be a deal breaker because most people don't care about that stuff. But if you had to be always online, well, maybe it's an optional thing, I guess, in the menu you could probably turn on. I guess they could do it like that if they tried to experiment with the AI stuff. I don't think they need to do that, though. I think they can just develop the Red Dead Redemption 2 system and just make that smarter. And I don't think this AI stuff needs to be in the game unless they can use it really smartly. I've already seen a clip, and I just watched some of the leaked footage, and you know, that's from a few years ago at this point, 2022, earlier than that maybe. And I was blown away from this little detail. I already told you guys this, but I said Jason was on the floor. He was prone. He was crawling. There was a box in his way. It was gameplay too. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't a cutscene or anything. But Jason was on the floor. He was crawling, and he was pushing an object out of the way. And it's like, dude, that's what I want to fucking see. Because in most games, you just kind of like go up to it, and it looks goofy as hell. And it's like, no, this one, it's like automatically like doing animations that are contextual to the environment, and that's the shit I want to see. I think there's going to be a groundbreaking thing here in this game with animations and stuff like that. I don't know, man. I think this game really just could be that fucking good. But at the same time, it's just, we don't know when it's coming out. We don't know if it's delayed. We don't know if Rockstar kind of fell off. We don't. There's just a big fucking question mark. It's GTA question mark. It's not GTA 6. It's GTA fucking question mark. But that clip of Jason prone and crawling and pushing organically an object out of the way, like, that is fucking crazy to me. So if I play the game and I'm crawling in the game, and if you approach an object, Jason automatically transitions into like a seamless animation. Let's say you kind of crawl up to a tree and then he slowly gets up from the crawl and it looks super realistic. Like, yeah, that shit's going to be fucking crazy. No game will be able to compete with this game. No game will be able to compete with this game. Literally not a single game, not Witcher 4, not Cyberpunk 2, nothing. Nothing will be able to compete with this game. They will set a standard that probably won't ever be matched. Yeah, the game could be as woke as hell if the gameplay is compelling and the detail and the depth is there. I don't care. We'll skip the cutscenes if it's that annoying. That's not concerning to me. Dynamic environmental interaction was advertised as a feature for Unreal Engine 5 during the PS5 demo. Well, where is it at? You know what I mean? Where is it at? Half-Life 3, I don't think anyone's hyped for that game except for the Steam fanboys, which there's only probably about 10,000 people that are really hyped for Half-Life 3. That's a boomer game. Like, let's not even get into that conversation. And I'm not saying it wouldn't be good, but... So the ball is in Rockstar's court, but what we've heard from the horse's mouth here today is that the marketing, they're waiting relatively close to the launch. So then you have to ask yourself, well, when is this game launching? Well, we know it's slated to come fall 2025. And it's April right now, right? Pretty much. It's April right now, so you're talking about, what, 6 months? They got 6 months to market this game? Well, they need to start pretty soon. This is getting ridiculous. They need to get these billboards up. They need to get all of this stuff ready because they said they're doing outdoor marketing, so that's the billboards, that's the, you know, all that sort of stuff. And then they said they were going to do commercials maybe in Hulu or something. I don't... Hulu, Netflix, something like that. That's probably a smart way. I mean, I don't. But there's no Super Bowl ads. Physics and world interaction programming fell off after the PS3 era. Well, this game needs to bring it back. If you find that clip, I just looked at it today, and it's like I thought I've seen it all. And just Jason pushing the box out of the way was super realistic, and that was 2022 footage. I can't even imagine what this game's at right now. So if you look at the leaked footage, you'll realize that it's like, well, that's outdated gameplay. I mean, presumably the game's going to be even more complex and advanced and in-depth than what we saw back then. If we don't get the second trailer in a few days, the game is 100% delayed. Dude, if this game gets delayed to 2026, I mean, it better be a small delay. Let's just put it that way. I can't, spring 2026, I could see that being more realistic at this point due to the long silence. Like, Rockstar has not acknowledged this game since 2023. NVIDIA rode the physics train with their purchased IP Physics X, but it fell off after it became too difficult for developers to implement Physics X into the games. Yeah. Well, it was resource intensive back in the day too. But the 50 series cards can't even utilize that feature anymore, can they? Like it's really choppy if you turn that on because it's all new technology, I guess, and it doesn't have what it needs to, because it's an outdated thing, I guess. I don't know. Oh, the leaked footage was from 2019 to 2021, so we're talking at the latest it was 2021 gameplay. Holy shit. That's insanity to me. No, I'm serious. That gameplay clip of Jason crawling and then pushing a box out of the way, and you could tell it was just something that the game automatically does. Like if there's something in the way, it's going to smartly adapt. And that's fucking crazy to me. Like that's what I like to see. We want something that really looks fantastic. Sony has signed a huge marketing deal. Well, that's another thing, too, is who's going to have the marketing rights for this? I mean, obviously, Sony doesn't have as much money as Xbox or Microsoft, so you would assume it would be Xbox. But maybe Sony can, maybe Sony can pull through, but I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. They have to get those deals ready, too, right? It's ironic because the 50 series officially depreciated the 32-bit physics, so games that use it, such as Arkham Asylum, and we had those on, and they were pretty cool when we were playing Arkham Asylum a few weeks ago or a month ago. We turned those on, and it was actually so you can't even do it. That's insanity to me. And there's no workaround right now. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. But I mean, I guess it's not that big of a deal because there's only certain games that use it, and they're old games that came out during the 360 era. Imagine you'll be needing a backpack to... Yeah, exactly, yeah. Well, the trunk is probably going to be like the horse saddle in Red Dead Redemption 2, where you can store extra stuff in the trunk of the car and stuff like that. I mean, I think you guys are going to be blown away with this game. Because some of you guys haven't seen the leaked footage, and it really does give you kind of an insight on what they're maybe working on. And it's like, yeah, it kind of does look like GTA 5 2.0, 1.5 or whatever, but, it's 2021 footage, I guess. So it's like, well, obviously the game is going to look... November release. Trailer 2 will be shown in April. Well, I certainly hope that something gives in April because it's getting ridiculous. I mean, maybe not April 1st per se, but, dude, if we're having this same conversation on April 29th, in 1 month from now and nothing has changed, well, then I don't know what to tell you. The wait game is crazy.
Swickable super chatted $5. Just got here, Mackle. What's the big update?
Well, you're going to have to scroll back. There's a rewind feature, and you're going to have to utilize it here. But the big update is, if you don't want to utilize it, the big update is that they basically said that the marketing is This is how we answered the question. The marketing is going to be relatively close to the launch of the game. That's apparently why we haven't seen trailer 2. That's apparently why they've been so quiet. That's what we heard today, in addition to a few other things. So today was an update. It wasn't an update from Rockstar, and we desperately need an update from Rockstar, because I have a feeling that the Take-Two earnings call in May is going to be very similar talk to the previous one. That was, I believe, in February or January? And if they still say fall on track for fall 2025 and there's still nothing to show for from Rockstar, I mean, it's ridiculous. If you go to the Florida beach, you barely see... Well, I'm not going to discuss that on here, but there's people that think that the game isn't woke, and there's people that think it is woke, and it's like, well, just show me the gameplay, and we'll decide if the game is good or not. The game could be woke for all I care. I'll skip all the cutscenes. That's fine with me. But if it has Marvel humor, if they're going to do that Marvel humor crap, like, we're definitely skipping the cutscenes, because I hate that garbage. Where it's like this obvious pause for laughter from the audience, and it's like, yikes. Oh, it's so bad, that Marvel writing. And they might go down that road with this game. You got your PS5 Pro, you're ready for this game. Silence until August, September, then we can't keep covering it. I cannot stay out here and keep talking about this daily until August or September. I mean, we can, but it's going to be hard. If Rockstar is truly going to stay silent for that long, that's insanity to me. If Rockstar is not going to bark until August or September, people are going to be not happy about that. But I guess that's okay. They're still going to buy it, so that's all that matters, right? Why would they change the ad strategy mid-GTA 6? Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's essentially what they kind of confirmed. It's like relatively close to launch is seemingly when the marketing is going to ramp up for this game. And it's like, well, how does that make sense when they put out trailer 1 in December of 2023 and, you know, the game is coming out 2 years later, so they put out a trailer 2 years in advance. That's not marketing relatively close to the launch of the game. Now, I guess that's like different type of marketing, because that's the initial, like, here's the first trailer, this is when we think it might be coming. It's like, dude, that date at the end of the trailer, you can go back and watch my trailer reaction, deserves a lot more views than it has. I think it only has like 25K views. But, you know, everyone else got millions. But when you put 2025 at the very end of 2023, when you put 2025 on the screen, it's like a big deflate. Like, wow, I don't care about this game. Here we go. And I knew Rockstar was going to go silent, but I didn't think they were going to be silent for this long. I thought there would have been some screenshots or, you know, something like that between now and then, and it's just been pure silence for 480 days. So 480 days ago, we watched the trailer 1, and when they said 2025, I sat there and I said, wow, this is a spit in the face. Why are we showing this trailer this early? The Marvel humor stuff is really bad. The last Marvel movie I watched was that Thor movie that came out. I think that came out in like 2022. Terrible movie. Oh, my God. And I knew going in it was going to be terrible. I don't watch those movies, but, you know, the whole audience was clapping at the end. It's like, you guys are nerds. You guys are total losers. Like, I ain't clapping for this garbage. It's all CGI. You had Russell Crowe in some fucking Zeus outfit. Like, it's cringe. No, the trailer wasn't pre-rendered. In fact, the trailer is kind of aged, and I'm not saying it looks bad, but it doesn't look as impressive as it once did, and I think trailer 2 is going to have to be graphically on a whole nother level. I think trailer 2 is basically going to be a remake of trailer 1 at this point, because it's been so damn long. They should just remake the first trailer with the updated build of the game. I think that, because when you look at trailer 1, what they did a great job. I'm gonna be honest with you. When you look at trailer 1, and this is what's crazy about this whole thing, when you look at trailer 1, they did a great job at convincing you that the game was already fucking finished. I mean, honestly, like, the game looks ready to go. Like, I mean, unless you really like start looking hard, the motherfucking game looks ready to go, and it's like, okay, well then now here we are 480 days later, and Rockstar hasn't said a damn thing. So obviously the game wasn't ready to go, and I guess they just built that sliver of what was ready and really focused in on that. So Trailer 2 is going to have to look very different. Trailer 2 is going to have to be very impressive, and in fact much more so impressive than Trailer 1. Dude Speaks is coming through. That's what we're talking about, homie. Coming through in a way that makes sense. That's what we love to see. Dude Speaks is in the building, coming through from Canada with a $5 super chat. He says, pig, rock on. Demon Vector says, first Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer shows fall 2017 at the end, and the game came out in October 2018. Yeah, and they delayed Red Dead Redemption 2, what, 2 times? 3 times? Can't remember, but I know it's been delayed, obviously. It was delayed. But I think when it was delayed, you still got something. I think there was like a couple of screenshots or something. There was something to like say, hey, look, this is, what's going on. The game's delayed. Here's some screenshots. We need more time in the oven with the game. This is a big freaking, this is a big road of silence here. And we don't know if the road is finished at the end. I mean, it's unbelievable. The first trailer was just a concept. At this point, well, obviously not, because there's leaked gameplay. The game has to be ready to go. Like right now, and I don't know how game development works at the final stages or really at all, because I'm not a game developer. But I would assume that the game has to be probably 100% complete at this point. I mean, you have 6 months to ship it. Like, you're probably in the final testing phases for bugs and stuff like that, and working out those kinks. I don't. The game has to be done by. Like, the game has to be fully finished 6 months out. Like, I mean, if not, then they're busting their ass in that office crunching. And the devs, some of the Rockstar devs went to Jason Schreier anonymously, and they said that they didn't want to do that again. They don't believe in the crunch culture, and it's like, well, does Tom Brady believe in the crunch culture? When he's got 1 minute left on the clock to score a touchdown, and he's at, the opposite end of the field, does he believe in pressure? Does he even, it's just a mindset thing. And if these devs are so lazy and so woke that they don't believe in that hard crunch that they need to facilitate in order to get this to the finish line, then maybe they shouldn't be on the team. Maybe they're not A players. They're not A-plus players. I don't think they. If I were working on the game, I would be staying as long as possible to try and get as much done, because the game has to get to the finish line. If you have to make some sacrifices for the next 6 months, so be it. This is a game that's going to change people's lives. This is a game that's going to make a lot of people money on YouTube and on Twitch and on all of these other social media platforms. I mean, this game's really going to change lives. Honestly, like, it really is. And I don't think people understand that, but you'll see new streamers pop up from this game. You'll see new content creators come from this game. I mean, and it's possible because of this game. What was that one rapper that made a song about Red Dead 2? That country song, what's that song? Can't remember. But wasn't he playing Red? This was before he was famous. He was playing Red Dead, and then Old Town Road or Horse on the Road or something. I don't remember what it's called. It's a terrible song, but obviously it was. That would have never happened if he hadn't ever played Red Dead. Yeah, Little Nas X, right? That's the story of how he became famous, right? He made a song about Red Dead and then it went viral. Pretty sure. Unless I got that mixed up, maybe that's not what it is. No amount of time crunch if you do something you love, but if you don't enjoy it that much, I suppose there is crunch. Remember Jamie King, ex-founder, said tone down GTA 6, less edgy? That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Jamie King. Jamie King did say that. Yeah, well, Leslie Benzies is coming out with his game. That comes out June 10th. You can already pre-order it right now, which is fantastic because now we know it's actually coming this summer. I'm not saying it's going to be a AAA experience, but it could be interesting to say the least, especially from Leslie Benzies. Obviously, he knows he knows a thing or two on how to make it happen. He's the big time producer on all the GTA games. No longer on GTA 6, and that's going to be another thing too. It's like no one is talking about this right now because everyone's wondering about how much the game's going to be, when's it coming out, is it delayed, all of this stuff. Is it going to be at 30 frames? But you're missing key talent working on this game, and it's like, well, that's obviously going to be a factor on whether or not this game's going to be quality. And I said if you have the Los Angeles Lakers in their prime and you take out Kobe Bryant and Shaq, I mean, the team's going to obviously be affected. And that doesn't mean that the team is going to be automatically terrible, but it's going to have to kind of adapt. And the big question right now is, the team at Rockstar currently, have they adapted to some of the key players that are no longer? I mean, the co-founder of the studio is gone. Dan Houser's gone. Like that is insane to me. Leslie Benzies is gone. Laszlo Jones is gone. He was on the radio and he did all the radio stuff, and he's actually an in-game character in GTA 5, I think, for the first time. So obviously the radio is going to be different. You're not going to have Laszlo, but these Zoomers don't know who that is. So they have Joe Rogan as the replacement now. So they'll just hire Joe Rogan. They'll pay him millions of dollars to be in the fucking game. And instead of Laszlo Jones, you'll get a soulless Joe Rogan. I mean, honestly, it's just like I think that's what this game is going to be. Instead of creating a new kind of character that does the radio show, and that's the thing too. When I played GTA 4, and I guess my expectations were too big, but there's Laszlo does his show on GTA 4 on the radio, and I thought you could actually find Laszlo on the street interviewing people because he does that on the street thing. He's walking around doing the radio show. I'm not sure how that's even possible, but he's online. He's on the radio doing the radio show, and he's supposed to be walking around. Like you can obviously hear this city in the background, but you can't actually find him doing it. But I think that's going to change in GTA 6. I think all of that's going to change with the social media system, and that's what I'm really excited to see. And I think trailer 2. I mean, hopefully it shows even more of what they're showcasing. Do you think they all left because of the woke agendas inside Rockstar? Well, I don't think it's because of that. I mean, I think, well, it might be. I don't know. I mean, obviously no one knows, but I think it's more so that they can't rock the boat as much as maybe they wanted to. It's a multi-billion-dollar game. It's the second best-selling video game or third best-selling video game of all time. You can't rock the boat anymore, right? I mean, you really just can't. You can't rock the boat anymore. And, like Jamie King said, he thinks it might be not as edgy, and that's because they can't rock the boat anymore. When there's that much money on the line, you can't rock the boat. You got to play it safe. So the game it's kind of lost its identity potentially. I think that's why they all left. I think that's why. It's not about the money. I mean, they're obviously multimillionaires. I mean, it's about the creative. It's about the creative process, and it's like, well, the new Rockstar's different. They don't have the frat boy culture. They don't believe in crunch. They were working from home, and then they had to transition back to the office. It was a mandatory shift early last year. That was the internal delay, and now they're probably playing catch-up. And the devs that went to Jason Schreier anonymously, they said, hey, we don't want crunch. We don't believe in that. So there was a clash right there, and now they're probably playing catch-up. And if they still don't believe in crunch this close to the finish line, then, well, yeah, the game's getting delayed. The game's getting delayed. They need to make a documentary on this game and have cameras rolling in the office the whole time to see what's really going on with this game, and then put it out years after the game comes out. Say, like, yeah, we had cameras rolling the whole fucking time, and this is what happened, and this is why there was so much fucking silence. It's because either they were busting ass or there was turmoil at the office, or I don't know. Do you think Enzo is going to be Game of the Year? It's terrible. I played it. There was no gameplay in it for me. I don't know what you guys were seeing in that game. But apparently it has AI NPCs. I don't know if we saw that yesterday. But I walked around the world in that game, and it's like, that was a snooze fest. I can play Watch Dogs 2 and get more immersed into that. And that's not a life simulator game. So it's like, well, which one is doing a better job at selling the believability of the world? It's like, well, it's Watch Dogs 2. Yeah, you might be able to go to space in GTA 6 because don't they have the rocket ship down there in Florida, the NASA? So they'll probably parody that in the game, and the spaceship will probably look like it's a dick and balls because that's what Rockstar loves to do. And then you can maybe fly that to fucking outer space and like a mission or something. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that sounds like actually like a dumb idea, but they should have it where it's an Easter egg, where it's like you have to like, how long does it take in real time for the rocket ship to get to outer space? It can't be that long, right? Because the rocket ship is going like, what, 500 miles an hour? How long does it take the rocket ship, the NASA rocket ship, to get to outer space? It can't be that long, right? Well, then they can apply that to the real game time, where you have to sit there and you have to fly the rocket ship for 2 hours or something to go to outer space. It's a massive Easter egg. I would put that in my game. Why wouldn't I? I went to the moon in GTA 6. Imagine doing a comparison between AC Shadows and Watch Dogs 2. Oh, it would be terrible. It would be abysmal. And I've seen Assassin's Creed. Well, that game's already dead. You know, the Assassin's Creed Shadows conversation has already come to a complete halt. You know, about a week and a half ago, they were shilling it. They were either shilling it or they were totally against it. But the conversation has come to a complete halt. It's a dead game. You see how fast that was flavor of the week, and then now no one's talking about Assassin's Creed Shadows because the game sucks. The game doesn't have any depth. It's the same old run-of-the-mill fucking garbage game where you just sit around and do busy tasks. And it's like, well, when you hit a certain age, you don't want to play that shit anymore. You want to play something that's actually worthwhile and that actually has quality and depth. You don't want to play this filler crap while we're waiting for actually a great title like GTA 6, potentially a great title like GTA 6. That's what I'm saying. I mean, Assassin's Creed Shadows, I mean, that has come and gone already. That train has already left that station. Do you think the game will still be released in 2025? Well, we're certainly hoping that it will be, but I don't know. It's still up in the air. But I'm still leaning towards it's not coming in 2025. That's what I'm saying. Once you've played one Assassin's Creed game, you kind of played them all. Once you played one Assassin's Creed game, you've kind of played them all. Phantom Vibe is coming through. That's what we're talking about, homie.
Phantom Vibe super chatted $4.99.
Phantom.
Are you planning to play the GTA 6 story from start to finish?
Well, yeah, we're gonna try more than we do most games. I'll say that. But if the story starts getting really dumb and they start introducing like 5 million characters, that's one of the things that I don't like about some of these Rockstar games is that they introduce like 5 million characters, and it's like it starts to become a fucking TV show. With Red Dead 2 especially, it's like you got to go through all the characters in the Dutch Vanderlyn gang. But if they can lock it down to like Jason and Lucia and just kind of a side cast of characters that are actually interesting, then that could be good. But if the story falls off, we're not gonna play it from start to finish because it's gonna be a long game. I'll tell you that. I mean, unless they really change things up, it's gonna be a long game. But if it's compelling enough to continue from start to finish, we will definitely we'll see if we can handle it. Phantom Vibe in here with the 5. That's what we're talking about. But I already said I want to experiment with the open world and stuff like that. And the leaks actually. If you take a look, and if you guys have seen the leaks, you'll know what I'm talking about. But there's a leak of the car interior stuff, and it's the most detailed thing. Like you can move the seats back, you can move the armchairs and stuff. I mean, I haven't seen anything like it before in a game like this, but if you look at the dashboard, the fuel meter is actually kind of close to empty, which implies that there could be a gas mechanic, fuel mechanic in this game, and we have to test that out immediately. The cars have to. Well, we'll probably know with previews from IGN or something, or from big outlets. I'm assuming they would get hands-on early access to the game, reputable outlets, before it actually comes out. No gameplay, but just because that's what they did with Red Dead 2. They got a chance to play Red Dead 2 early, and then they wrote their articles. And I'm assuming that'll be either confirmed before the game, before we play the game, that the cars require fuel. There's a fuel gauge now and stuff like that. And I honestly do believe that is going to be in this game. And I don't know why people are so against that. I don't know why people don't believe that's not going to be in this game. It's pretty obvious the direction that they're taking this from the leaked gameplay footage. I mean, it's Red Dead 2 style, maybe a little bit more faster than that, but if you want that depth and realism of Red Dead 2 carried over to a game like GTA, well, this is finally the one that's going to do it. The leaks were very detailed for a game at the time that was 3 years out from launch. That's what I'm saying, and it's like, well, imagine it now. And that's what I said. I said trailer 1, 480 days ago, looked like a finished game. And I thought, well, and now here we are. It's 480 days later, and it's still complete silence. Wear and tear on the clothes, etc., would be cool. Well, I think the internet's going to turn on this game when the That's what we're talking about. Swiggles coming through yet again.
Swickable super chatted $5. GTA 6 hype train choo choo.
Choo choo, motherfucker. Yeah, and I'll say this, Swiggle, and this is autistic, but the first thing that I did in GTA 5, one of the first things that I did in GTA 5 after we got through that prologue, which took forever, we found the train, and we were very disappointed when we found the train in GTA 5 because you can't drive it. And it really soured the I'm not even trolling, it really soured the experience because I thought we were getting a game. Like, imagine putting a locomotive in the game and you can't get in it. Now, you can get in it in a mission, which really pissed me off. It's a mission later on in the game. You actually drive the train, but when you're playing free roam, you can't drive the train. And in Red Dead, you can. Red Dead 2, you can. So it's like, well, the priorities were just different in GTA 5, I guess, or they didn't have the. Maybe they ran out of, or they wanted to save it for a mission. But in Red Dead 2, you can drive the train, and I think that's fantastic. So we're hoping that when they bring the train back in GTA 6 here, you can drive it in Florida, the one that's above the streets. Really wish this game was mainstream. The games are getting, most people don't appreciate realism or those details, just want to play. They come from work to unwind, could not be me. The gas mechanic is necessary. Yeah, the gas mechanic is necessary because I'm telling you that right here and right now, it's going to be harder to get into cars in GTA 6. It's not going to be an automatic thing where you press triangle and the animation plays out. Like, it's going to be a lot trickier to get into cars in GTA 6. So you're gonna want to stick with the car in this game. Not that you can't get other cars, but it's going to be, I'm going to assume it's going to be a little bit more of a hurdle to jump over to get a different car in this game, unless, I don't know, it just seems like that makes the most sense to really ground this experience. And I'm not saying super ultra realism, but for the online, that's different. They'll probably turn that feature off where you can just jump in any car. Because, obviously you want the online to be accessible and streamlined. You don't want that stuff. But for ultimate immersion and in-depth stuff, that's what we're talking about. IAD is coming through. He's gifted the 1 membership, homie. And Carl O got it. That's what we're talking about. IAD is in here, and he's gifted the 1 membership. Carl O is in the building. And he's coming through. Right there. Big shout out to IAD. IAD is coming through. And he's coming through in a way that makes sense. Carl O is in the building. Thanks to IAD for giving out that one membership. People are going to see you break into. Okay, so Tyler Boy 19. That's what I'm saying. I think that's where the social media comes into play. Here's the thing. Maybe it's not as difficult. I think the new wanted system is going to be it's going to be factored into the social media stuff. They do that in Watch Dogs 1. It's not like a real time thing, but you play more of the missions in Watch Dogs 1, and they put you on the TV screens in the game. So I think they're going to take that mechanic and incorporate it across the social media system, which no game has done the social media system to what they're seemingly preparing here with GTA 6. Watch Dogs 2 has a pretty decent one. You can take a selfie and then people will comment on your timeline, but it's not a real thing. It's really fake. But it has a fake social media system, but in the interview number 11, Zelnick is shown. What does that mean? You're saying April 11th? Is that the new theory? April 11th. So we're going to do that now. Oh, my God. What they will do probably is for the main story missions, they will disable the fuel mechanic just like Days Gone. Exactly. Well, you guys, I'm not making the game, so you guys can go disagree with Rockstar if they make these changes and put them into GTA 6. You guys can complain to Rockstar. I'm not making the game, and obviously we're just surmising here. Maybe none of this is going to come into the game, but I've seen the leaked gameplay footage, and it is akin to Red Dead Redemption 2 from what I can tell. The animations and the gameplay and stuff like that. I'm not saying it's as slow as that game with Arthur on the horse and walking around and stuff like that, but. It's definitely taking Red Dead 2 and taking the best elements from that with the animation and I don't think the social media system is a good idea. Well, I think at the very least the social media system will be a way to introduce the Strangers and Freaks missions. I think that's probably what that's going to be at worst case scenario, but it could be more than that. We don't know. Or random events. So we're saying Strangers and Freaks and random events. Instead of just like traveling in your car and finding random things, you can go onto the in-game phone, or your phone will vibrate, and then you press the button, and then you can watch a live stream that's happening in the area, and then you can go to it, which, maybe that doesn't sound as impressive as, but I think that's what it's going to do. I think it's basically just a repackaged Strangers and Freaks mission. But what would be cooler is if any NPC at any time in the game, they develop this neural network thing. And Tyler Boy 19 is coming through.
Tyler Boy 19 super chatted $4.99. I want high population density. Lots of NPCs, with full day-night cycles, and they react more.
Well, I mean, we have to look at Red Dead Redemption 2, and I don't know if I know the answer to this, but Tyler Boy 19 is coming through with a $5 super chat. That's what we're talking about. Well, we know, at least from Trailer 1, that the high population density is pretty there. I mean, there's scenes with a bunch of the beach scene has what? How many NPCs on the screen? Now, obviously, we don't know if that's going to really come to fruition when you're playing the game when it comes out. But let me ask you guys this, because I've never, in Saint Denis, in Red Dead Redemption 2, in Saint Denis, do all of the NPCs have a schedule in the city? Because if they were able, the point is that if they were able to do it in Red Dead 2, then they're going to be able to do it here in GTA 6. Now, to what extent, who knows? But Saint Denis in Red Dead Redemption 2 is the biggest city in the game. It's supposed to be New Orleans, right? So in Red Dead Redemption 2, if you follow an NPC, where do they go? In the city, I mean. I've done it in the smaller, in Valentine and stuff like that, and it's like, well, they do have destinations, but if they've also applied those destinations to the characters within the city, then they can do it in GTA 6 and do it even better. So I think those are very likely. I think those are very likely. Okay, Alex says not all of the NPCs. Okay, well then I'm going to expect that with GTA 6 as well. But I don't think that's important. Here's what's more important: if they can despawn them. If they can despawn them in a way that makes sense, and Watch Dogs does this. Watch Dogs does a great way at despawning the NPCs. Sometimes they'll walk to a parked car and they'll get in it and they'll drive off, and that's how they despawn. That's a fantastic method because they're not just like disappearing out of thin air or walking around aimlessly. They put them in a car, and then they just they just drive forever or dissipate or whatever when they're off the screen, which makes the most sense. And in Watch Dogs Legion, they go into the subway, which the player can't access, and that's how they despawn. Or they go into interiors and they despawn that way. So Rockstar, they've had to have figured this out by now. So I'm going to assume they're going to do the Watch Dogs 2 thing, where it's like, well, everyone you see at the beach will actually leave the beach, but they're going to go to their parked cars, and then they're going to drive so they can disappear, but they don't actually go to their home. Like that isn't there's no way, unless Rockstar's really cracked the code. I don't know if we have the technology for all that. Well, Watch Dogs Legion has it where you can create a legion of NPCs, and then it becomes a hyper detailed thing, and the game will track. I forgot how many NPCs that can join your thing, but it's like probably like 10, 15, or 20. I don't remember, but they all have fully schedules. They're all real schedules in real time. They don't do any. It's a good premise, but they don't really do anything. Like the bartender, if you follow the bartender to work, like the bartender just stands there. There's no animation, so they didn't. That's where AI could come in, where it's like, okay, well, you got to sell the believability of this person and what they're supposedly doing, because it's just like, okay, they have destinations, but they don't do anything at the destinations, and it's like, well, that's boring. Like, you've killed the immersion. Well, they have schedules, but they don't do anything. Like the bartender goes to work and doesn't serve drinks or something, and it's like, well, that's stupid. So it's a half-assed concept. I think the car will be used to hold gun. Yeah, well, there's going to be a duffel bag in this game. We've seen it in the leaked footage. There's going to be a duffel bag that you can wear, and that'll be a thing where you can probably store more stuff. But if they have some AI stuff in this game, which they could, they could smartly implement that. Imagine the amount of random events that will be in GTA 6. I think in the leaked footage there was over, 150 or 200 random events. And that's just where it was in 2022 or whatever. In the leaks, 2022 show 100. There we go right there. Never mind. Shit, I was totally off base. Alex is saying there's over 1,300 random events. Hell, I was totally off base. Over 1,300 random events. So that's going to be the social media stuff. So 1,300 social media events. That's a lot. That's actually a lot, but 1,300. So you're talking about 1,300 potential videos you can watch and streams that you can watch, and then you can go to them in real time, if that's what that is. Hey, Alex, do you remember the mention of yard sales in the leaks? Like, I think that's a fascinating concept. I mean, imagine walking around a neighborhood and you can pull up to a yard sale, and then you can find like something that you can add to your home in the game. Like, I think that would be fascinating. But there was a mention about backyard wrestling too. I don't know. This game needs to exist. I don't know why we're still in this waiting period. I mean, this is crazy to me. It's unbelievable. Dude, if the game has yard sales, it's a 10 out of 10. Like, if you could walk up to a yard sale and then pick things up and look at them like Red Dead Redemption 2, and then, like, dude, come on. Dude, you guys are trolling, but a yard sale video on YouTube is going to get 1 million views. you just made a decent amount of money on one video on GTA 6. So these content creators are going to be they're going to be rolling in the dough when this game comes out, because the normies want to see some stuff that this game is going to do, and it's going to be bringing some new stuff to the table here. Well, that's Arthur Morgan. That's the thing that made me mad about GTA 5. They have numbers all throughout the game, and I think at one point they were planning on having it where you could call them, and you can call them, but nothing ever. It doesn't relate to the number. It's like, well, call here to get an apartment or whatever, and it's like you call it, and then it's just like static or something. It's really dumb, and it's like this definitely had to be a cut feature in the game. I think they were trying to implement way too much with that GTA 5 stuff, but the technology was the limiting factor, and obviously because they have a lot of numbers in GTA 5, and it's like they're big and bold, especially when you start out as Franklin in his neighborhood. There's numbers all in these banners, and it's like you call them, and it's nothing like it's not related to the number at all. It's just like a bunch of generic static or whatever. Well, that's what I'm saying. Now if I see a number in the game and I call it, like, it should at least be kind of relevant to the, what the sign said. Yeah, you could call the number, but it wasn't, from what I remember, it wasn't anything relevant to what the sign said. It wasn't like someone picked up, and it wasn't like a unique voicemail or something. The northern part of the map will have mountains like the smoke. Well, no, in the leaks, Georgia rather. Is Alabama a city or a state? Georgia, I think, was in the game. Let me go to the map. Google Maps. Okay, so what's the state right above Florida? Is that Georgia? Yeah, Georgia. Okay, so Georgia. No, Alabama is a state. I thought that was a state. Okay, Georgia is in the leaks, so there's going to be a part of Georgia in the game. So I mean that's what I've heard anyway. I don't know if that's true. You guys, GTA 5 had Laszlo radio number on bus stop. You could call. Really? What happened? Did Laszlo say anything, or was it? See, I don't understand. Why did? That's crazy. So they downgraded that too. Oh, Crowcat video part 2. GTA 4 versus GTA 5. Smells like the Creation. What's the Creation Club? What is the Creation Club? Well, I mean, if they replace Laszlo with Joe Rogan, the normies are going to love this game. Oh man, the normies are, because they don't know who Laszlo is. It's like, that's like hardcore deep cut rockstar thing. He was a character in GTA 5, and you did a mission with him, and then you chased him out of the arena. But the normies, when they hear Joe Rogan on this radio, they're when they hear Joe Rogan on the radio in GTA 6, if he's in the radio, the normies are just going to lose their minds. I mean, they're just going to be blown away. Because Joe Rogan could have already recorded all of that content, but he's under NDA, and they probably paid him millions of dollars. So, assuming, of course, he's in the game. Why wouldn't he be in the game? I mean, if they're going to do celebrity DJs and stuff, why would they not put Joe Rogan in the game? At least on the radio. If you hear a song, you call the number, it gives the title. Yeah, in GTA 4, right? Yeah, it's like Shazam. Yeah. Well, I think that was more in-depth than GTA 5's ability to call numbers. I think it was more in-depth. I'm not sure, though. We got Bigfoot. Okay, folks, we're going to be wrapping this one up here shortly. Trump Mar-a-Lago will be in the game. Laszlo having his own podcast would be pretty fun, I'd imagine, discussing about the in-game events that would take place. Okay, buddy. Danny McBride and Beyond Radio would be pretty... Who's Danny McBride? Laszlo having his own podcast would be pretty funny. I'd imagine him discussing about the in-game events that would take place. Well, Laszlo's not working at Rockstar Games anymore, so it's over. Well, we had an update today on this game. Technically, it is an update on GTA 6, or at least it's a refresher on what's the timeline for this game. But you know, I will say that we haven't got an update from Rockstar, and I think that's a more important update. Should I play Atomfall? I think you should play Atomfall if you're playing it on Game Pass. I was actually getting into it. I'm not going to lie. We were getting into it, but there was just too much content in the game. I mean, and the way you do the quests, like you have to really. They don't put the markers on the map. It's not like a traditional. I don't know. I think it was interesting, especially for Game Pass. I paid $80 for it. I think that's way too fucking steep. But we played it early for that stream. But you can take out, I think, a lot of the NPCs. I think you could take out all the NPCs. I'm not sure. I haven't tested it. But I thought it was interesting for a Game Pass game. But if you're paying any more than that, you definitely wait for a sale. But I think it has some interesting mechanics, and I like how it doesn't, it doesn't mess around. I mean, they got that one intro video, and then they put you right into the gameplay. And it's not like a 5-hour prologue. It's just like you're out in the world, do whatever you want to do. And the choices seem like they hold some weight and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it's better than most games that have come out, because it's not it's better than Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's better than Avowed. It's better than what was that other one game we played? Can't even remember the games we played this year because they're so bad. Oh, I thought Danny McBride was a writer. Didn't he work on the new Halloween movies? Yeah, Danny McBride. Yeah, he wrote the new Halloween movie, didn't he? Pretty sure. Yeah, Avowed was terrible. What was the other game that came out before Avowed did? We played it early or something. I don't know. It was terrible. It's better than Inzoi? Yeah, it's better than Inzoi. But the AI and the combat's pretty clunky. But if you're playing it on Game Pass, it's definitely worth a shot. It's free on there. But not for full price, I don't. That's what yeah, well, if you're from the UK, you definitely need to play the game. Yeah, you definitely need to play the game. They got a Mr. Bean Easter egg, which I didn't see. If I would have saw that, I would have said 10 out of 10. Yeah, because I like Mr. Bean, I'm not going to lie. Oh, Kingdom Come 2, that's terrible. Atomfall is... No, I'm not even... dead ass. Hold on. Is Input funny in here? Because I know he's going to get hot about this. Not even trolling. Atomfall is better than Kingdom Come 2. Better RPG. Not even trolling. Atomfall is a better RPG than Kingdom Come 2. Kingdom Come 2 is slop. Oh my god. That's a normie RPG. Atomfall is literally better. I'm not even trolling. Atomfall is literally better. And that's not even really an RPG. It's more of like... What I think why Atomfall is better is because there's more... Like, we don't need a big... the map is condensed, and it's like... You're seeing stuff constantly. We don't need to do this open world crap where it's like you could roam around on your horse for 5 hours and not see anything, and everyone just loves that crap. No, I'm not playing that. Kingdom Come 2 is horrible. Garbage game. Garbage game. Just total garbage. So Atomfall is better because it respects your time more, and there's more interesting things happening on the screen. I don't like the fantasy element, though, or whatever those creatures are in the woods, but other than that, I would definitely say I literally had more fun with Atomfall. And I'd pay $80 on Atomfall over Kingdom Come 2 like any day. Well, that's what I'm saying. Well, that game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, is already dead. Kingdom Come 2 is already dead. These are flavor of the week games that are, these are all Game of the Year titles, and it's like nothing is Game of the Year. GTA 6 is Game of the Year. It's as simple as that. If this game comes out this year, there is no other Game of the Year. I don't care if you disagree. You're wrong. Grand Theft Auto 6 is Game of the Year. Nothing will compete. You can argue Death Stranding 2, and it's like, well, if that's your personal preference, that's great, but that isn't Game of the Year, homie. If this game comes out, this is objectively Game of the Year. Trailer 1 for Red Dead Redemption 2 has fall 2017 at the end, and the game came out in October 2018. So Trailer 1 having 2025 at the end doesn't mean that GTA 6 is coming in 2025. Yeah. What games are coming in April? I don't know. Death Stranding 2 is a walking simulator. Well, at least the environments in Death Stranding 2 look a little bit more interesting. I'll say that. I think they're it's a different color palette, and the environments are a little bit different. It's not the same old. That's the problem in the first game, is that the environments it's all pretty similar. But in Death Stranding 2, in Death Stranding 2, in Death Stranding 2, the environments look a little bit more interesting. In Death Stranding 2, the environments look a little bit more interesting. Someone just I was reading the comment and then it got message retracted. Okay, here we go. Fable, he says, if anything, this game just shows you that Rockstar switched their way up. They could have just went for fall 2024. You know what I'm thinking? Hey, Fable, what if Rockstar wants to start competing with Nintendo and they steal their thunder, and they put the GTA 6 trailer 2, they shadow drop it, which they won't do, of course. But what if on April 2nd they put out trailer 2 and they shadow drop trailer 2 for GTA 6, and it goes up against the console, Nintendo console Switch 2 announcement. It goes right after that. Like, it would steal the thunder of the Switch 2. That'd be crazy. But that wouldn't make any sense. Now, if Switch 2 gets unveiled and they showcase, well, I think they're going to showcase first-party titles. We have to cover that. That's going to be a big one. Switch 2 is, dude, the Switch 2 gets unveiled in like 3 days. What are you guys smoking? Let's get this up on the screen. Oh, that's like, I can't, what the? That's 4 days from now. Oh, I see. I thought Monday was the 1st. I thought April 1st was on Monday, but it's not. So, April 2nd is the Switch 2 unveil. And we will be covering that. The Nintendo Switch 2 unveil. Yeah, the Switch 2 unveils on Tuesday. They're going to have to give me a reason to care about that console because, quite frankly, I mean, it's going to be a hard sell. But I think the console is releasing in June, isn't it? They're going to put it out in June. They're releasing the Nintendo Switch 2 in June to get away from GTA 6. Because even that, it's like, why would I want to buy a Switch 2 when I can buy this $70 game over here and have 200 hours of fun? Where the Switch 2, it's like, well, there's probably a new Mario game or something, but it's like, well, the game gets better as you go, but Death Stranding 2 looks like a bit more faster-paced and more action-oriented. Yeah, well, they probably had to shake things up. Switch 2 needs an exclusive Resident Evil game. I agree. I'll be there day one. You bring exclusives and great exclusives, we'll start thinking about it. Yeah, a Resident Evil game built from a surprise Resident Evil game built from the ground up on Switch 2. Yeah, that's a day one purchase. We'll go out and get the console. It's not hard. We'll wait in line. That's fine with me, but you have to have compelling software. You can't just say the hardware's great, buy it. Like, I need compelling software outside of Mario, outside of Zelda. Like, those things aren't really that fascinating to me. But I don't think they're showcasing third-party stuff. I don't think they're showcasing third-party stuff on April 2nd. So what they're going to showcase is first-party stuff. They're going to showcase Mario. They're going to showcase Zelda. They're going to showcase what sells and what works for Nintendo, rather. So, but I mean, if if the new Mario game looks cool or something, if it has a fascinating gameplay element to it, I mean, you know, it might be interesting. But I played Odyssey and I didn't think it was all that fun. It was just an updated version of Super Mario 64 that came out years and years ago, and there's no innovation. No, we don't need another Zelda game unless they really figure that out. This is why I like Adamfall, because the map is super small, but it's like there's like hidden stuff. Like there's you know what I mean? It's like I want a smaller map. I don't need an open world game that's like super, super big. Sure, that I guess adds more playability, but it's like there's nothing in the open world. Kingdom Come 2 is so bad at this. Like, you go to the castle, and behind the castle, if you just want to open, you're not supposed to play it like this, I understand, but dude, you roam around that forest, there was literally nothing. Literally nothing. It's like the game was unfinished. Like, it's not like Skyrim where you explore and then the game rewards you for exploring and finding these things and doing these things. No, you got to play the main story and whatever bullshit they want to tell. And it's like, I'm not interested in playing a game like that. Adamfall, there's no bullshit. You get right in the game. The scientist says he needs help, and you can make a choice right then and there. And then you get out into the open world, and there you go. And then you can make all the choices you want to make, and it gets right into the gameplay. I don't know. I thought Adamfall. I think they should continue with that. I think that they should stop making the Sniper Elite games and just make more games like that. And make them small too, so that way they can pump them out quicker. Dying Light the Beast is supposedly releasing in 2025. Well, Demon Vector, they're going to have to push that one up too, Dying Light the Beast, unless they're going to delay that, which I don't think they want to do that. But I'm going to assume that that's coming in probably August or September to get ahead of GTA 6, because no one's going to play a Dying Light game when this game comes out unless you're a loser. That could never be me. I'm never playing Dying Light. There's probably zombies in GTA 6. I'll play that. That's going to be the zombie game. Alrighty, folks, we're going to be wrapping this one up here shortly. So in the next couple of minutes, we're going to be wrapping this one up here. Yeah. Well, they have to. Well, I saw the gameplay for Dying Light the Beast, or the trailer or whatever it was, and it looks like you can get in a car and stuff. Maybe you could do that in the first one. I can't remember. But yeah, the graphics look interesting. I don't know. I mean, for a spin-off title, it'd be better than Dying Light 2 anyway. Ooh. That is a work. That's a game where you literally work in the game, and it's like, dude, I want to just like have fun in these zombie games and not do these chore tasks. Last super chat of the show coming through hard and strong. Imagine Complex is in here with the 5.
Imagine Alex super chatted €5. If the Switch 2 releases with a real new Zelda, Nintendo sales will go past beyond SSJ5 Ultra Instinct Normie. You know it.
What is SSJ5 Ultra Instinct Normie? If the Switch 2 releases with the new Zelda, I don't think it's going to release with the new Zelda. I think they're going to put out, because the new Zelda just came out 2 years ago. Unless they have a new one that they've been working on. But I think there's going to be probably a new Mario game. I think Mario Odyssey 2 or something. I mean, it's been a long time since a mainline Mario game came out, 3D one anyway, right? Mario Wonder came out a couple of years ago or something. But yeah, we got someone spamming in here. Let's get you up out of here. But Imagine Complex is coming through, and not only that, but I want to see we want to see there's got to be a gimmick with the Switch too, right? Like, it can't just be better hardware inside and better battery, more efficient. Like, that, to me, that doesn't sell. Like, I need a Nintendo gimmick attached. That's what I'm looking for. I need a Nintendo gimmick attached, maybe a new way to play, a new way to experience these games, something that makes sense. And he's coming through. Swiggle.
Swickable super chatted $5. No, I'm the last.
That's what we're talking about. He got the last
Rolling
word in.
on the floor
Swiggle's
laughing
coming through the
emoji.
last super
Have a
chat
good
in the
day,
building with the
Michael.
$5
Thumbs
super
up
chat. That's what
emoji.
we talking about, homie. That's what we talking about, homie. In the building here, we got Swiggle and Imagine Complex. to play us out here. So again, if you are just tuning in or you didn't catch earlier, but we watched the brand new interview with Strauss. Zelnick, I believe is his name. And parent company of Rockstar Games Take-Two Interactive. And they talked about GTA 6 briefly. And it seems like it's still on track. And not only that, but they kind of clarified that the marketing is going to be relatively close. I think those were his words to the launch. So if that is the case, then we got a speeding car here. If that is the case, then everything still seems on track, and this game isn't hopefully delayed. And that just means that the waiting game, unfortunately, might continue here as they're waiting until closer to release to start marketing the game and putting trailers out and stuff like that for trailer 2 that everyone is anticipating. But that is going to do it for now. We do appreciate you guys for tuning in, tagging along, supporting the show. And with that said, we will see you later. It's over.